Welcome, everybody, to the H3 podcast. Today, we have a very special episode here with the people who are responsible for birthing me into this planet. We have my mom, Donna.
Hello.
Can we get a whale?
A whale?
Yeah,
whale.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
And we've got my dad, the Gary Kleiner.
Hey now.
Hey now. And of course, the original, the greatest partner in crime, Ela Kleiner. What
Thank
up,
you.
pimps? Before we get started, I just want to give a quick thank you to our sponsors. Love these guys. They support the show. They make all this possible, guys. Appreciate them. To, what do we got today? Naturebox, Dollar Shave Club, and MeUndies.
Oh, those undies. I want to get some of those.
I got a pair.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
We got a lot to talk about. More about them later, but thank you to those guys.
Yes,
We'll get into all that.
that's important.
How you guys doing? How was the drive?
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was not too bad.
In our
as I
new
said.
car.
It was nice
yeah.
being
Nice.
able to take the diamond lane rather than, as I usually do monthly, come out by myself. So,
This is the first time you guys have come down to LA together. And just so you guys know, they literally drove here from Vegas, and this was your first stop.
It was.
yes.
Yep.
So
It only.
Well-
I thought it was going to take 6 hours, but it took us 4.5.
you got
of
a
course,
maniac.
I was
Yeah.
going to
That guy is
say,
a fucking maniac.
if I
Scares the shit out
drove,
of me.
if I drove, it would have been 6 hours. Dad
Well,
took
Yeah.
4.5.
Well, 6 is too long, to be fair. Like, sometimes you guys have driving habits that scare me equally on opposite sides of the
For different
spectrum.
reasons.
Well, you know
right?
what though? In honesty, I figured the 6 hours from our house to Jessica's. So
Plus,
this
I-
is a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's not 30 minutes.
I did have to stop once for Mom to pee, which I never do when I drive.
You didn't even get out to pee? You're like
No.
on principle.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I
Hardcore.
refuse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, when we got here, you could barely make it to the bathroom. It was
Yeah, but
running
I
down
made
the
it here.
hallway.
Well, you guys weren't late, so thank you for that.
That's
We were
true.
early.
But like, so when I'm driving with my mom on the freeway, she's in like the middle lane, and so she drives so slow that cars are passing us at like great velocity.
Your
and
grand-
I'm like, well, I appreciate you driving slow, but I'm also a little. This feels unsafe. On the other hand,
Your grandfather says I'm a fast driver,
oh
Oh
god,
my god.
Yeah,
don't take
compared to
that.
him.
Just take that with a shot of penicillin.
and he thinks your Uncle Stephen is a slow driver. Can you imagine
Ooh,
how
your
slow he must
So you're
drive?
the quick and dangerous one.
Yeah, my brother's the one that taught me how to drive too.
My mom's driving like 50 on the freeway, and we're just
No, I
there's
drive
no traffic.
65. when I come out here, I drive
See,
70.
that's the problem. In LA, 65 is it's suggested.
You should be in
Yeah.
the slow lane if you're
Yeah.
doing 65
Yeah.
out here.
Well, all right.
That's true. But then on the other hand, my dad, I'll never forget when we were in Mexico. You guys used to live in Mexico,
Oh yeah.
as you guys know, but you guys may not know. And you're like a nut on the road. I remember like that was the first time you were there.
Yeah.
And my dad is speeding. Like people say in Mexico, the drivers there are unsafe. It's unsafe to drive in Mexico. My dad is the reason it's unsafe. I remember we were rounding a corner and like the car was like tipping.
Oh,
I
please.
swear to God.
Yeah, because we have
There
the
was, like, a skid.
RAV4. It's a box.
No, it's a good car, and it's what I call defensive, offensive driving.
There was nobody on the road.
There had to be.
Who were you defending against?
No, there had to be. We were on the Chapala Highway going from Lake Chapala to Guadalajara, probably the little winding road
Yes.
coming back
The
from
people,
the lake.
the people that drive in Mexico are very polite. They don't have any road rage. The roads are insane. Because when I used
There's
to,
no lanes.
yeah, everything's suggested. And when I used to be the designated driver when my girlfriends and I went to Guadalajara,
Which shows you what good drivers they were.
we would go to Tlaquepaque, and when I had to make a left-hand turn, I just rolled down the window and go, "Thank you," and they would just say, "Come on, lady, just come on in." But they were really nice.
Yeah, the Mexicans are great people.
Yeah,
They were,
Yeah.
very more polite drivers than we are here.
yeah.
But the roads are terrifying there because they have like
Yeah.
huge wide lanes and no markings.
Right.
And then they've got these crazy thing where they've got like an island, and then you have to like, there's like a.
Oh, when
What
you
is
make
the
a
point
left
of
turn,
that?
you have to
Oh,
go all
like,
the way to the
it's
right.
so-
That was in
Puerto
Puerto Vallarta.
Right, they have what they call laterals, which means when you want to make a left turn, you have to go way over to the right, wait for the left turn arrow, and then go across 6 lanes of traffic that you hope will stop
bananas.
for the light.
Right, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Not the safest thing in the
It's
world.
bananas.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But you're right. Dad's a crazy driver. He's always been a crazy driver.
I'm not. Don't believe them.
Oh God, dude. And like my dad, like we'll be in the
This
car.
would be beat up
No,
dad
let's keep
day.
talking. Let's keep
Okay.
It's fascinating.
It's
Happy
okay.
Father's Day, by the way.
You're shooting elephants with a BB gun. Go ahead.
Okay, good. All right, we'll lay it on then for sure. But like you do this thing where we're all in the car, and we're like, please slow down. I'm actually scared. I'm actually scared. Please slow down. And then you're just like,
Nope.
I hold on to the
Shut up.
to the
And
to
hold
the-
on.
to the side. You know that little handle on the.
the oh shit handle.
Yeah, I hold on to it one day.
Just fear.
I've never heard anyone
Yeah.
scream, please slow down.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I've just
Liar.
never paid attention to anyone saying,
get in the zone.
please slow down.
You don't hear anything. You're just the road.
Got
the
to
dream.
concentrate.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that his vision's really good.
Yeah, you guys. Well, Mom, you haven't come down here.
Yeah, you can see, show me
You-
your staples.
I did.
Do you mind showing it? You don't have to.
It's pretty.
It's interesting.
I guarantee you, everyone watching this has seen something grosser than that.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
pretty
guarantee
gross.
that.
Gross warning.
Damn.
Pretty gross. Gross.
Can you see it? Yeah, that's gnarly.
And
if
this
you guys,
was all bloodied because it's like dripping down my, dripping down my arm. But now it works.
wait, what do you mean it was dripping down your arm?
All the blood, because this whole thing is filled with.
Wait, you have blood drip out of the wound?
No.
It's all swollen and it's filled with blood, and so that's what all of this is from.
Oh,
they
I
didn't
didn't
bruise
see
my
that.
arm.
Wow.
This is like nothing.
Holy
Wow.
smokes.
It's the whole thing is just dripping down my.
My mom recently got butchered by a shitty doctor.
No, I don't know.
He
if
also
it
saved
was-
your life at the
yeah.
same time. I mean, it's hard. How do you feel? You must be
Yeah.
very ambivalent about it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I keep on thinking maybe I didn't need a pacemaker, but then I realized that I did need a pacemaker. But it's just all that stuff that happened afterwards.
What happened? Can you tell the story from like the beginning?
Okay. Well, I woke up one morning and my heart stopped, and so I passed out, and I called Grandpa to let him know I wasn't going to be able to make it.
How long ago was this?
This was
Middle
October
of
23rd.
October,
It was
before
October
Mom's birthday.
23rd.
So it was about 8 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, about
10 months ago? Almost a
nine
year.
months
Wow.
ago. 9 months ago. This has been going on for 9 months.
Wow.
Well, it takes a while to recover.
Well, you're better now. I mean,
Yeah.
like you
5
were in a really
surgeries in
horrible
9 months.
place.
It's a lot of surgery.
So anyway, where were we?
So I called your grandfather because, I wanted to, I do things with Grandpa once a week and wanted to let him know I wasn't going to make it. And apparently I must have sounded funny. And he called your sister, Jessica, who in turn called your brother, Sean, who, was living out in Vegas at the time and threatened his life if he didn't come and check up on me.
Wow.
In the meantime, I called your father, and he was driving back from here. And Dad was like, "Well, what the hell do you want me to do about
Wait,
it?"
you-
That's
wait.
exactly what I
That's
said.
exactly what you say.
Wait.
not.
So wait,
stinker.
let me get it straight. You were driving back?
Yeah,
I
Dad was
just
driving.
left Jessica's
He
house.
flew. You thinking
I
he
was
drove
like
fast?
in Thousand Oaks when Mom called, and I could tell something was
You
really
were off.
wrong.
Yeah.
You were far off.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
he was
called
really
Sean
far.
right away.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? You're not there.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, except panic, which I
Anyways,
never do.
so I when the
How-
when the paramedics came, and I was kind of arguing with them, saying, I think it was food poisoning, and during this whole time, like I was passing out and coming to and passing out, and he told me, he informed me because they had a thing on me to check my heart.
EKG.
Yeah, and he said, he says, "Madam, your heart's stopping. So unless we get you to the hospital now, you're going to die. And so if you'd like to stay here, you can sign this release." Which is when, of course, I had the epiphany.
death warrant.
I think I
Right.
should go to the hospital.
Don't sue us when you die
Yeah.
by signing this.
That's
bull.
some heavy duty shit. 'Cause
Yeah,
my
and-
mom is the type of person to be like,
Nah.
I'm fine.
it's indigestion.
right, exactly.
That's what I thought. I thought I was
Just
having.
give me some Tums.
Yeah.
Well, from
exactly.
the get-go, that's how she was, and she's a horrible storyteller. But I called Sean, who is planning to go on a hike, after he talked to Jessica, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll go by, after I'm done with the hike." And I called Sean and said, "This is not a test. You need to get to the house right now," because he had a house key, of course. and go over there and see how Mom is. So he went over there, and he called me, goes, well, she doesn't want to go to the hospital, and she doesn't want me to call the paramedics. And I said, how is she looking? He goes, she's bad. And I said, tell her if she doesn't go with you, you're calling the paramedics, and she's going. So that's what he ended up doing. And then she's still fighting him when when they got there. No,
well,
I'm
I really
fine.
thought I
It's
had food
indigestion.
poisoning.
And that was when Sean called us, right?
I know, I was just
and
thinking.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
Sean.
He goes,
He said Ethan asked him like, so how bad is it? What is happening? Because we're in LA,
Right.
and so we'll have to drive if it's a real emergency. And so Sean was like, well, she's not gonna die in the next 5 hours.
That's so
how-
Sean.
yeah,
That's how
she's
it started.
probably not going to die in the next
Right.
5 hours.
Don't worry.
You
So,
can make it here.
So we got in the car immediately,
We
obviously.
freaked out when we
Yeah.
heard
I thought
that.
you were
We
going to
like-
die. I mean, I
we
thought
were-
for sure you were
I
gonna
when
die.
I went to the emergency room and I said to the nurse, they're putting all this stuff on me and on they're
Just
ripping
give
my
me a
clothes
Tums.
off and I know, really, I
What
feel
is all
better.
this
I feel better.
overreaction?
So I guess my heart was stopping and they had me monitored on the on the cardiac. On the EKG, whatever
Right.
the thing. Anyways, so I said, I think it's indigestion. She goes, honey, you're sick. I went, really? Anyway, so that's what happened. And then all of a sudden I woke up. I mean, I must have been out, and Dad was
where
there.
you,
I don't know how you got there so fast.
You like lost your memory once you got to the hospital?
I just kept on passing out because my heart was stopping.
Gee, how did I
That's
get
some
there so
wicked-
fast? I drive fast normally. Do you
Yeah.
think I drove a little fast?
What were you driving?
It was your Volvo.
Volvo.
The
I mean,
old
how
deal.
fast were you driving?
I didn't go over 90. There's
You
that
don't want to
stretch.
die. You don't want to kill
Right, you don't
yourself.
wanna
rushing
kill
to
yourself
save your
trying to
life.
get-
Or get
Yeah.
pulled over by the CHP or Nevada Highway Patrol,
Yeah.
which will slow me down. So,
Right.
sometimes when you're driving from LA to Vegas, you get in a good pack of people that
Yeah.
it's like in the Tour de France when you have a good line of people going, people move over,
When is the
people
Tour de
pass,
France?
people move back, and I got in a really good group of people. And we think there's safety in numbers, of course, but we've also all seen 5 or 6 people speeding pulled over at the same time. So don't fall for that trick.
I've
of
never
safety
gotten
in
a
numbers,
speeding
but
ticket.
I actually
ever.
haven't either.
How many have you gotten, dear?
Speeding tickets?
What's that?
One maybe?
Oh, get out!
How many tickets have you gotten? How many
In your
How
lifetime?
many crashes have you been in?
How many? babe?
3, I think.
How many have you been in, Mom?
0.0.
How many miles have you driven, Dad? 1 million. How many miles have you driven, Mom? 100.
Oh, come
100.
on.
You know, the
That's
amount.
fair.
You know what?
You
He
have to
always
be
tells.
mathematic about
You
it.
know
Yeah.
what? He says to me, "You haven't been driving as long as me. No matter what, I haven't been on
No,
this
it's
earth
the
as long as
miles. It's
we're
not-
5 years apart.
It's not the age, it's how many miles you've driven. The more miles you drive increases your probability of having an
Like
accident.
pulling out in the middle of the street, making a left-hand turn, and getting hit.
Oh, on Topanga Boulevard? That was like 30 years ago.
It
This
happened.
isn't, okay, this isn't counseling, you guys.
Okay.
Let's pull it back here for a minute.
Yes, we newlyweds need
Yeah.
I know.
a lot of marriage counseling.
So, you woke up in the hospital.
So I woke up in the hospital, and all of a sudden, Dad was there. Sean was there, obviously, and they told me I needed a pacemaker. I had this thing called sick sinus syndrome, and what it is when your heart doesn't beat correctly. So, like, my heart was beating, and then it was like, I don't feel like beating for a while. So your heart just pauses for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but after a while, that could be really dangerous, and
Yeah,
you
of
could die.
course.
So I ended up, much to the chagrin of my son. The doctor gave me this test. He asked me a bunch of questions, and then he told me after I answered them that I failed the test. And I said, well,
He
if
was
I knew he was
testing
going to give me
your
a test, I'd
cognitive ability?
studied. Well, no, he was just asking me questions like, okay, how
What
do you
could
feel?
have caused this problem with her heart? Why did she pass out? Why did her heart stop?
Like, how
so
was
it's
I
one
feeling?
of 3 things. So, yeah, he asked the questions, which
And
Mom
I
answered
failed.
wrong, and then she says, can I take the test again? Like it's a multiple choice, and she just picked the wrong
I know, I
choice.
didn't
If you
study
just
hard
lie
enough.
about it, then you'll be fine.
I know.
She could have avoided the surgery and,
And
been dead
been
by
dead,
now.
you
So
know. So then they go ahead and they do the surgery, and the doctor during the surgery punctured my left lung.
That's the greatest. Isn't it the best twist ever?
5%
Yeah.
chance of that happening,
Yeah,
they say.
I told everyone I need to buy a lotto ticket because my
Yeah.
odds are
So
just
that was the
unbelievable.
worst part about your recovery. She went in because her heart stopped beating, or
Right.
you were having heart failure of some sort, right?
Right.
And then when they're installing the pacemaker, the doctor you got Dr. Shaky Hands over at Plus.
Right. They run a wire lead from your heart, into...
It's really close to your lung, in
Right.
fairness to the doctor, and I'm really,
Right, from the
I'm like
pacemaker to
Eli,
the
I'm really
heart.
thin, so it happens
So
sometimes.
he made a blow poke on your lung, and then it just her lung completely collapsed.
Completely collapsed. So I was stuck in the ICU for I think it was 8 days.
Yeah, so she had the pacemaker here, and then they had to put another hole in her.
Yeah, I had to go in.
drain her
Oh,
blood.
that was
been
another
the
story.
worst.
So the doctor, the pulmonologist comes into my room and he says, "Okay, I'm here for the emergency." I go, "What emergency?" He goes, "You're the emergency." I go, "What?" He goes, "Your lung is completely collapsed and your right lung is starting to collapse
Oh,
now. So unless
God.
you want to be on a
God.
respirator, we need to operate." So the nurse says,
What a-
"Doctor, when do you want me to prep her?" And he says, "Yesterday." So
Jesus.
they
That's
took me.
dramatic. It's like a scene
Yeah.
out of ER.
I know.
Yesterday.
Not to worry.
It's like,
but-
let's
I
not be
know.
tongue in
This
cheek
is what
about
the
it.
doctor's saying in
It's
front of
just-
you. So then I said, nobody told me that I even had a punctured lung, that it collapsed.
Wow.
I just
my
ate.
God.
He goes, "We're going in anyway." So
Did
I had to
you-
be up
Wow.
for this.
Did you feel out of breath? Like, did you
Oh
have
yeah.
any sense
the,
that?
the minute I got out of the operating room, the nurse said to me, "How do you feel?" I said, "I can't breathe. I feel nauseous." And my shoulder,
That's
which I had
horrifying.
they tore my rotator cuff. I said, "It feels like my left shoulder was put in a vice."
And it was.
Put in a vice? I don't know if it was put in a vice.
Well, they
but
they dislocated your.
Well, no, they didn't dislocate it. They just hurt my rotator cuff. I guess because I was up. I mean, they didn't completely put me out during the surgery. So I guess somebody must have been holding me down, or I don't know. So then the saga continues. So I've got a tube in my back, which is so uncomfortable because you can't lean back because you've got
it's
a tube
through
in your
the
back.
back of your rib cage into your lungs.
Right. They have
That's
to
how
put
gnarly it
have to
is.
put a hole into your lung, and they fish it through your rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and then it was draining, all this lovely stuff. And then they let me go home. But in my stay there, they said, you're developing a cardial tamponade. And what that is...
Sounds nice, kind of. A little tamponade.
Yeah,
A
like
little
an orchestra
temperate.
Like a
kind of
sauce.
thing.
Yeah. So what was happening was around your heart, you have like this inner tube, and it's your pericardium. And usually you have a little tiny bit of fluid in there, and it helps to keep your heart safe. When it's beating, it kind of bounces off of it, and it keeps it nice and safe.
The pericardial sac.
Right. But what happened to me is my pericardial sac filled up with so much fluid that it's around your heart, and it was squeezing my heart. So the right side of my
little too
heart
much
was
cushion.
collapsing.
Yeah,
It
so
was
after-
literally squishing my heart so it couldn't beat.
Fuck.
After
God.
going through all this, we go back Monday for the follow-up visit to the doctor,
Right.
and he discovers this pressure on her heart, and we went from the doctor's office downstairs into a wheelchair, wheeled next door to the hospital, back into surgery.
So let me
again.
clarify.
Like 20 minutes, and I was on
So
the table being
you went to the
operated.
hospital. You got the pacemaker. You
Yeah.
had your lung collapsed.
Right.
Then you were in there for 8 days as your lung healed. Right.
Right.
Then you went home. Right.
Well,
for the
my lung
weekend.
still had my lung was actually filling with fluid, which I didn't know about.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're,
At
So,
this-
but you had your lung
correct.
punctured.
Right.
you
Went home
had
for
a-
the weekend.
But
you
they
were
filled
all-
it up.
Everything's fine.
So you went home
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
and you weren't feeling well.
Well, they told me that I had to come. Normally, you don't come back after something like that for a couple of days. But they said, you're developing this cardial tamponade, and we just want to make sure. So they knew there was instructions that when I came in that I had to have a chest X-ray, and when I had the chest X-ray, the doctor, Dr. Resch.
Shout out to Dr. Resch.
Yes.
What up, Resch?
Thank you, Dr. Resch. Came in
Great
and said,
cardiologist.
okay. Yeah, I said to him, do I have time to go home and get a change of clothes? And he just said, no.
Yeah, we literally went downstairs. He put her in a wheelchair. The hospital is right next door to the medical office where
Right.
the doctor is. wheeled her next door, boom, into the operating room
Wow.
again.
So
Yeah.
you went home for the weekend.
Yeah.
You went back for a routine checkup.
Right.
And they're like, you need to go get
Your heart's being
surgery
crushed.
again. Your
Right.
heart
Yep.
is being crushed.
Crushed.
I was being crushed yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It
even
was.
kinder.
It was. That was a good
Any
one.
jokes about how you're dying in front of you? Any banter?
Oh, Lord.
No, I think we
You guys
were.
really know how to lighten it up, huh?
Yes,
well,
we were
you
in
know
a
what?
banter-free zone at
I
that
was,
point.
I was texting and putting things on Facebook that was trying to keep it light.
Yeah, Mom didn't feel as bad as she actually was.
Well,
Because
I
it was
didn't-
a surprise to us to find that out. So boom,
I felt
right
bad.
back into the ER, and
So
but it-
what happened? How was that?
And that was
follow-up?
after we came to Vegas.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then
You had already
we-
gone home, and
yeah,
it was
we thought you
surprise.
were fine, and we
Yeah.
were like, okay, we
We're
can
like,
leave
good,
now.
Good,
Yeah, because the
And
second
then-
surgery was
That was when
And
shit got
intense.
really.
the second one was worse.
Way
yeah.
bad.
That was
we
crazy.
got really worried after the second one because
Yeah.
that's when
Yeah.
you started to be like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost so much weight. Oh my God. And then after that, okay, so they had to put a hole in my pericardium. So I had a tube coming out of my chest, and it was draining, fluid, blood, all that other stuff. And then the nurses insisted, because I was in so much pain, that I have an opiate, like a drip.
Oh, this is great. This is
milk of
another
the
great
poppy.
twist.
Milk of the
Oh
poppy.
my God, they did it, and I went out. My blood pressure went 72 over 22.
Wait, it was good or bad? I don't care.
That's bad.
bad.
So they
That's
gave you
like
opioids to kill the pain,
an opiate drip.
and then your blood
My
pressure
blood
dropped.
pressure crashed.
Okay, which was already low.
It was already low, but
Yeah,
it
normally
crashed.
low.
It totally crashed. And so I had to have a transfusion.
Oh Christ!
It wasn't a blood transfusion. I forgot what they call it, but there's a line that goes all the way up your shoulder, and it's like manufactured blood.
hemoglobin, I think.
Some kind of
Hemoglobin. That sounds right.
some kind of thing. Anyways, so I found out I was not to ever take opium or an opioid.
Now you tell me.
I
It's a
know.
shame. The doctor walks in.
So-
We should have found that out yesterday.
But I can still take it.
Yeah.
Good. It's like a character from Family Guy who kicks down the door. Captain Hindsight or something.
Seriously.
Yeah, Captain has that.
Although
So then, wait, the saga continues.
I know.
Oh my God.
This is only a 2-hour show.
I know. Are you, do they really want to
Oh, we
hear
can
about
go
all
over.
this
Oh yeah, it's
drama?
fascinating. Are you kidding?
My God. Okay, so then what happens was I finally get out of the hospital, and Dad and I couldn't run or exercise, so the best thing I could do was walk. And we were out on a walk with our dog Dulce, and
Shout out to Dulce.
Yep, shout out
shout out to Dulce, our beautiful Rhodesian Ridgeback. And I had to stop. We were in this field, and I had to stop and sit down because I was so winded. I was having so much trouble breathing, and it turned out that my left lung had filled up with so much fluid. It was 2.5 liters.
2.1 liters.
Wait, that's like a full
It's
Coke
like a
bottle.
giant
Are you
Coke bottle.
kidding me? You
No,
had a
you should-
full big
yeah.
boy Coke bottle?
That's like 10% of her body weight.
Yeah,
Holy.
in my
Wait,
left lung.
we saw the picture there. Wait,
It was,
you
oh
sent
yeah,
a
that's
picture,
right. I
right?
put the pictures of the
Oh.
bottle
Yeah.
filled with fluid.
Did
Yeah.
you ever think about cracking that open and putting some
Do
of it on
not
ice?
drink this. No. I don't care what you mix it
2
with.
liters. I'm
Vodka,
like, hey,
gin.
give it a
No.
shot, you know?
Nothing's going to mix well with
Very
that. So-
exotic.
Yeah. So
Are you
then
supposed to drink lung fluid before or after beer? What's the rule on that?
Lung fluid before
Or beer,
beer,
never-
never
in
been
the clear.
clear or something.
Yeah.
Oh, in the clear. There we go.
You guys tell
wait,
us.
what is it?
Beer before liquor.
Never been sicker.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little
I never
joke.
drink, so I don't know about these.
No, you don't. That's
Anyway, sorry.
drink, drinker's rhymes.
So I knew something was wrong. Anyways, so I had to go back to the hospital, and they take this like 4-inch needle.
When you saw that needle, did you ever be like, I'd rather die?
You know
I
what?
was
They
fine
didn't
with
show
it.
it to me. They were smart. I had my back to the doctor. I was holding onto this table, and they let Dad
Yeah, for some
Oh.
reason
into
they
the
normally
in the
don't.
room.
Let,
They don't let Yeah.
But
Oh.
because
So
I'm.
this is when you rushed to the hospital, they were going to suck the fluid out of your lung.
Well, we kind
Well,
of
I
knew
don't know
what
if
they
I
were
rushed,
doing. Yeah, it
but-
wasn't rush, but it was.
Yeah,
it was,
it was getting to the
You're
point where I
describing the
just
scene
couldn't.
where
I
they
was
s-
drowning.
Okay, this is when they suck the fluid out of your lung.
right.
Yeah.
2.1 liters.
Yeah. So Dad was. It was
Yeah.
like a table like
Ugh.
this,
What
only
did it look
with
like?
like half.
What color was it?
It was kind
Look,
of
it was kind of
looked like beer.
somewhere
Oh,
like
okay.
a dark amber.
Yeah.
Kind of
Dark
beer.
amber?
Right.
It kind of looked like
I remember
beer.
the picture. You don't remember it? It's like
I saw some green. Was there green?
no,
No,
maybe
it was more like
brown.
it was more
Mountain
like
Dew you're thinking of.
Ew, ew, that's gross. Now I'm gonna have nightmares.
I got a bottle of that. I'm telling you, there's demand.
Ew.
Must be.
We gotta like infect like a bunch of like poor ass like Chinese people and just like farm their lung fluid and bottle it.
There's got to be a way to make money off of this.
There's definitely there's a market for it. Hila's into it.
You
So
guys are
anyway,
sick.
I remember you tell me about the process of
So
draining.
okay, so I'm in the hospital room and there's a table about this wide, like Dad's on the other side and the doctor's coming at me with this 4-inch needle.
You didn't see it. Dad saw
I
it.
didn't see it. Dad saw it.
Were
And
you like,
they-
oh shit, when you saw it?
I was more glad it's not me.
Yeah, yeah.
And they stick it in you between your rib.
You make it
your
seem
rib
like
cage.
it's a scene
They
from
do.
Pulp Fiction.
They do.
Right,
It
exactly.
was a scene from Pulp Fiction.
They like stab like they should take a
you.
running start.
Yeah, they do. They stab you, and it was
And-
like, oh,
And then
oh my
Roseanne Arquette said,
God.
that was fucking freaky.
Yeah, it was like, and then all of a sudden, Dad freaked out. Dad goes, "Holy shit!" Because all the fluid started coming out of me.
I never freak out.
Okay, but you said, "Holy shit."
I might have said that. I wasn't freaking out.
Okay, well, I was freaking out
Okay,
because
just
it
for
hurt
the
like
record.
it hurt.
Just for the record.
Big
thanks.
difference.
Was it the sucking that hurt or the stabbing or everything? Because I remember you telling me something.
It hurt.
Didn't
it
hurt till they were almost done, right?
Yeah,
When
they
pulled the
said they
needle
said
out.
when it starts to hurt, let us know. And it hurt so bad, I couldn't even talk. Oh my God, it was just really awful.
Oh my goodness.
So that was done, and then later on they told me that my right lung was starting to fill up with fluid. But fortunately, I went home and I started doing some yoga, because my other incisions were healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing yoga, and I still have a little bit of fluid left in my right lung, but
Nothing
I didn't
for
have
concern.
to. Yeah, I didn't have to get zapped.
Get Pulp Fiction.
So then I go home and I'm getting, speaking of being zapped, it kind of feels like the most intense hiccup you've ever had. And it's like someone put it on my abdomen and I'm getting jolted all the time. And it got to the point where I was getting jolted all day
You're talking about from
from the pacemaker.
Oh yeah, this is the final chapter, which is also just it's like a total system of failure.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
went wrong from the
Yeah.
like if they never punctured your lung, you would have probably been recovered and fine.
Yeah.
But like and
was
then the same doctor who fucked up my mom's shoulder punctured her lung. It turns out that she had the pacemaker installed wrong and it was electrocuting her. She was being electrocuted. Can you imagine that?
It's
Like,
insane.
fuck off, Doc. I don't know if that guy's qualified to be a doctor. He's a butcher. He's got shaky, buttery fingers.
It's just what happens is sometimes the wire is really close, like it's near a nerve in your heart, and the nerve sends like signals, and so I kept on getting, like contractions in my abdomen, and it wasn't like just a little hiccup. It was like boom, boom.
Mom was like,
Those
of us who took biology in high school, when you did the experiments where they pithed the frog and then you
What'd you
stick
say? Pith?
Pith.
Oh,
which
that's
is-
a word?
Yeah, it
Wait, what
is.
is pith?
Pith
when
is
you-
where you take a probe and you stick it into the back of the frog's skull and kind of grind out their brain.
Right, so they don't feel
So
pain.
then
I
you
don't
can
recall
give
getting
it-
the
You never did
pithing
that?
lessons in
What?
school.
Well,
you guys
that was biology
PETA
in the
may
old
have
days.
stopped it at that point, but then you can put electric prods like in different parts of the frog's brain and see his leg move and his
Really?
foot move, and
Yeah.
So that's how Mom was
You're
like.
being
All of a
pithed.
sudden, she was like, zzz, zzz, zzz.
Oh, it's so funny.
That's horrible. Well,
Oh my
it's
God.
honestly horrible.
Yeah.
So that's the incision you guys are seeing now, because my mom just.
Right.
How long ago was your most recent surgery?
It was 10 days ago.
So 10 days ago, they went back in and fixed the
Right.
pacemaker so
Right.
that she's no longer being electrocuted.
Right.
Dad, what are you doing? Dad, you're ruining the show.
Sorry,
You're sitting there, you're on your phone, and now you're playing videos and shit.
See, I'm pulling up the comments here from what we're doing. But anyway, let's not do that. But
Your
enough for
dad.
Mom. Do you want me to pull my eyeball out and you can see where
No.
my retina detached?
Okay, so I'm fine. I'm
My
fine.
dad needs to complain now.
I'm in great shape.
Well,
is.
okay. Anyway, God bless
Anyway,
you.
9
We're
months
just-
later,
yeah.
you're finally.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
you're okay.
Finally.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
I
finally.
I remember when can you believe this fucking imbecile doctor actually was installed it wrong? Like after everything, it's like, God, dude. Dad, stop ruining the show.
You guys-
My dad keeps putting shit on his phone and with
It's you.
volume.
It was you talking.
You don't need to read the
across the
chat.
table.
You're in the show. You don't need to read the chat.
Okay, good point. Good point. Point taken.
All right.
Well, let's move on. I'm fine. I feel like Frankenstein.
I
at the
remember when
moment,
you came down to LA to see a doctor, and like,
Rheumatoid
man,
doctor.
you were so sick.
Yeah, I
dude.
was
Yeah,
pretty
it
sad.
was
so
scary.
sad. It was so tragic seeing you like that, but
Yeah.
you really rebounded.
It was
Yeah.
scary. Like,
I was pretty
I
ill.
feel like no one knew if you were ever gonna go back to
That was
to
the fear.
normal.
normal. I wasn't sure either,
Yeah.
and that was really
She was just a husk. I mean,
right. Yeah. Plus, when I had my lung drained, I was in so much pain. They sent me home without any pain medication, and Dad insisted. I was like holding onto the bed, but Dad insisted, and we went to the hospital. And then they misdiagnosed me in one of the hospitals and said I was going to have another surgery. Remember that? That was
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you
Right.
called me and you're like,
Oh,
I'm
my-
going to die.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, literally, you called me like, I
Yeah.
have to get into surgery, so I'm probably going to die.
I
With her
was so
usual
ill.
optimism.
Well, I mean.
Well, there's just
if
so
there
much
was-
optimism
there-
you can
yeah,
have
I mean,
after
at
a
the
while.
at
5
the-
surgeries, 9 months.
There wasn't much optimism left. I agree.
Yeah.
Although one great little story I love too that I remember is that you were at home taking some opioids, and then the doctor didn't tell you the consequence of taking opioids
Yeah.
for painkillers, which is
Constipation.
so like another little nice little
Can't
angle
be
to the story.
fun.
So, if you take opioids, it can cause extreme constipation.
Yep.
I have a friend who was telling me he recently had some kind of procedure and the doctor didn't tell him that opioids cause
Why-
constipation.
Why don't they say it?
Say that. It's kind of a big deal.
Like, you really need to know
Well, they
that.
say it now in their commercial, which is now that we've caused you to back up by selling you opioids, now we're going to create a pill to unback you
Yeah, of
up.
course.
So now you
Yeah.
can buy 2 pills from
Well,
us.
I
Yeah.
wish.
Yeah.
I mean, sell me that pill from the beginning. Let's go. Well, my friend, his constipation was so bad, he didn't shit for 10 days, and he had to go into surgery. He had to get actual surgery to remove a brick of shit out of his fucking intestines.
Ouch.
These insane
whoa.
doctors don't tell him like, hey, careful with this stuff, or here, take this laxative alongside.
Yeah, I avoided taking. I was taking Percocet, and I was like,
Percocet.
and I was trying to like. Well, do I really need it? Because it backs you up.
It's good,
And
it works,
But
but
it's like, oh my
Comes at a
God.
cost.
Yeah. So I was, Dad screaming at me, take the pill, take the pill. No.
And speaking of painkillers, I found an interesting fact that, our dog has a torn ACL, which is a very athletic injury to get, anterior cruciate ligament. And the doctor said, well, we'll give her an anti-inflammatory. And I said, can we give her ibuprofen, Advil? No. The only thing you can give a dog that works on humans and dogs is tramadol, interestingly
Interesting.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Dogs
just
take
happen to
tramadol.
have.
50,
Yeah.
what was it, 50?
It's 50 milligrams, I think.
That's so weird. Tramadol
Yeah.
just works
Yeah.
on dogs for some
Yeah,
reason?
but don't
And
give
it's-
your dog
it's about the
Tylenol
only-
or Advil
yeah.
or anything. That's not good for dogs.
The only one that works
For some
for
reason-
humans and dogs, interestingly.
For some reason, the thought of giving a dog a serious painkiller seems kind of funny. But
Oh,
does
they
how,
feel
how,
pain.
how does it? How was she on like? Yeah, I'm sure they do, but like,
How was she
how
on
was
it?
she? Yeah,
I've only given her to her a couple times. I haven't
She
really
chilled out?
seen her been in
Yeah.
a lot of
And the-
pain, and she's
Well,
doing
how-
pretty well.
In the evening when I see her going from room to room, I know she's trying to get comfortable, and I say to Dad, give her a pain pill,
hook her up.
hook her up, exactly.
Give the old gal a little something.
Drug pusher.
I know.
Mom's place.
I don't want my baby to be in pain.
So well, not to be outdone. Let's talk about your grievances, Dad. So at the same
It
time,
sucks getting old.
yeah, this is the getting old episode.
Old people
You're-
tweets
you're-
literally today.
All your listeners are going to be tuning out.
This
Your
is interesting.
viewers.
I always hear Joe Rogan say this, and I agree. If it's interesting to me, it's interesting to them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what can I do? I can't
Yeah.
think about like, oh, do people find this interesting? If it's interesting to me, then that's as good as I can hope. I can't gauge what
All
people
right.
find interesting. Tell me more about constipation. Yeah, and during the same time, you started having some weird shit in your eye,
Yeah, right after Mom was pretty much done with everything.
which is actually a great story. I love the treatment for that.
I was taking
Yeah,
pictures.
it's not fun.
We're all laughing
I
at
know, poor
So tell
dad.
us about that.
You know, most people when they get a little older start to get what they call floaters in your eye, which
Yeah.
is just like squiggly, looks kind of like spermatozoa,
Sperm.
you know, floating
Just a
around
black
in your
dot.
eye. But it got beyond that at some point, and I knew something was wrong, and I didn't procrastinate as I have a normal habit of doing. I waited 2 days, and then I went to the eye doctor. He said, "Oh, looks like you've got a detached retina." And that's something that if you
Sounds
don't take
bad.
care of immediately, you will go blind.
In that eye.
Right, in that eye. So I went to the optometrist Wednesday. On Friday, I went into surgery, and they knock you out. And what the treatment is they put a little nitrogen bubble in the back of your eyeball, and that attaches to the retina, which is in the very back of your, like it's at, if you looked at your eye, it would be like at 3 o'clock, you know, in your eye socket. So what that means is you have to keep your head in a
It's like a
parallel
level, you know, the
position
bubble's
to
got
the
to
ground.
stay centered.
So you have
Got
to
it.
be like looking down all the time,
So-
including when you're sleeping. So you have to spend at least 21 out of 24 hours a day in a looking down at the ground position, which for someone like me who sleeps on their back,
It's
It's
most
not
people
fun.
don't sleep on their stomach,
Yeah.
or who sleep. Even if you sleep on your stomach, you don't put your face
Yeah.
exactly.
like in.
I
so-
wouldn't have been able to do it.
I had never heard of this in my life. Doctor says to my dad, "You have to keep your head down." How long was it for?
A week.
A week.
Like this. So they bought him a massage table.
They,
A
me,
chair.
me bought it.
Chair.
Okay,
Well, you can rent it
people buy.
actually. The
Yeah.
Good. How much did that run you?
$200. Still
For the whole
waiting.
week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Still waiting for Humana. Hello. Still waiting for my check back from you guys. But anyway,
Who's that? Let's get these people on the phone. Let's call them up right now.
so it comes in two parts. One is like kind of like a massage chair with a thing you can put your face down in a little mirror so you can watch TV.
Can
by
you
looking
imagine
down
you
into the
using a
mirror.
little mirror?
Oh my God, your dad had
It's
it all.
amazing.
He had it all set up.
Had
He
my
was-
laptop down there on a little table, and then it also has. It's kind of like a push-up bar. You know, you've seen those things where you do really good push-ups that elevate you from the ground. So that's what the thing that you slept in basically was. So you put your head in there, but then because you're sleeping with your head elevated, then your back starts to hurt because you're sleeping at a weird
Oh.
angle.
Really?
Then you try to experiment with putting pillows under your chest to raise your body, and anyway.
I'd wake up in the middle of the night and Dad wouldn't have his head in the right position, and
Oh shit!
I'd like, Gary, wake up.
And of course, compared to what Mom had been through, it's like, well,
You can't complain.
I'm not getting
Yeah.
any sympathy, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
shut up. So,
It's actually true, but like
Yeah.
I'm sure it was miserable, but you can't complain.
yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Oh
it's,
God! And the hospital that he was in these hospital gowns that were made of some weird material, and poor Dad broke out in hives from his whole
yeah,
body
this
where it
hospital,
touched it.
which shall remain
Oh.
nameless, which didn't
Let's
treat
call
Mom
him.
well
Let's get him
either.
on the phone right now.
Yeah, I called them in and I went, I just wanted to mention I think I got a rash from the hospital gown because I'm not really allergic to anything. And she went, oh, yeah, we know about that. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wait, because it wasn't sanitary? Were they sending out smallpox?
No. It's just
Not
something
sure
that
what-
somebody was just. I mean, it was just.
I think you're supposed to wash those
You would hope in a
at a
hospital they
fucking
would wash
hospital.
them.
This is the same hospital that busted my mom open, and now they're sending out smallpox blankets.
Well, that was actually the hospital
to-
that wouldn't give her pain meds.
Yeah,
would not
that
give
was
you
the
pain
second.
meds?
That was the second hospital. I've been into five
Five
So,
hospitals.
in
what's your
Vegas
review
now.
of hospitals in Vegas?
Some are good, some not so good.
You know what? It all depends on the doctor, but I'd say the best care that I got was probably. Well, you know what? It's funny because Centennial Hospital, the nurses were amazing. that was the first hospital where I had the
The
bad.
butcher.
Yeah,
They-
Mom went
Yeah,
to first.
Butterfingers.
but they were incredible. And then,
Except for actually tearing you up and puncturing you.
yeah, but it wasn't
Minor
the nurse's
detail.
fault.
Minor
And
detail.
then Mountain View was okay,
Well, yeah, you can't fault the hospital for one
Yeah.
goofy ass.
but
And-
Summerlin Hospital.
Uh-oh.
She didn't say that.
Why is this
Summerlin Hospital was great.
Summerlin, we're coming
The
for you.
worst. The worst.
And you know how much it cost for paramedics to come and pick you up and drive
No.
you about 3 miles from
Oh, you
our
guys are
house
super close.
to Mountain to Centennial Hills Hospital?
Yeah, you drove home.
$1,000.
No, it was more than that.
No, it wasn't. I paid
1,000
the
seems
bill
like a bargain.
for
For a
driving you.
5-minute drive.
Yeah, a
This
5-minute
great
drive.
Uber.
They
such
charged me-
convenience. Such comfort.
Really.
They charged me when I was in. Where was I? I was in
Uber ER.
Summerlin. No,
good
I
idea.
was in Centennial, and they transported me to Summerlin,
Correct.
and they charged me $1,200.
The bills are insane.
Yeah.
It's like, and I got this firsthand experience of how obscene the healthcare system is in America.
Yeah.
I mean, how much was your bill, Mom?
Well, when I went to the rheumatologist, he said he was looking through my records, and he goes, "Well, that must have been about $2 million."
Wow.
Yeah, we don't really know
Oh my
because
God. 'Cause
of this-
shout
because
out
of this
to the
thing.
Affordable Care Act because
Yeah.
of the fact that there are now yearly and lifetime caps on your out-of-pocket expenses. The most it could have cost us was $8,000 instead of
amazing.
closer to $1 million, which is what it would have
So
been
this is what we should-
without insurance.
It's worth talking about, okay? Because
Yeah.
like the Affordable Care Act
We would have lost everything.
is something that a lot of people hate. A lot of people are talking shit on
No,
it.
everyone loves the Affordable Care Act. They don't like Obamacare, which is the
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah, okay. But I think people don't understand the Affordable Obamacare.
Right.
Because people just say, oh, my rates are going up. My rates are going up. And our rates went up a lot. Like in New York, we were paying $1,000 a month
Right.
for me.
Well,
in
the
New York.
deductibles are high, and so
No, it's really high.
know,
But at the same
but-
first of all, getting that down is a different conversation.
Right.
But on the other hand, what it does do is that it caps someone like my mom,
right.
who at $8,000 a year max. Because otherwise, before that, they probably would have capped you at what?
No
Couple
cap.
hundred thousand.
That
Okay.
you would have plus
would go bankrupt.
pre-existing.
You have to
Right.
pay like a percentage of it. How does it work?
60% of personal bankruptcies before the Affordable Care Act was from people who were trying to pay medical bills
Right.
That is
and declared
We would have
bankruptcy.
we would have lost our
wrong.
house. We
This
would
is
have
the
lost
only.
everything.
This is the only place in the world
Yeah.
where people go bankrupt
Yeah.
because of medical
Yeah,
bills.
the only industrialized country where that can happen.
Before all of this, going back a few years, when there was just you just had to get insurance companies and they wouldn't pre-existing. When I had my cancer surgery, that we had to pay what 30% or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, oh my God!
And that was right after Ethan was born. Mom had a thyroidectomy because they found out she had thyroid cancer, which, if you're going to
Ethan
get
saved
cancer,
my
is
life.
the best one to get because it's
Yep.
a fairly easy solution.
But
But once you
was-
have that,
whoa.
you've got to put that down. So it went from that to the only question that insurance companies could ask is, do you smoke? Other
Right.
than that, could not ask about any pre-existing
Right.
conditions or
So
anything
before
else.
you were getting denied because of your
yeah, that
history,
yeah.
you couldn't
Right.
get insurance at all.
Well, you
No,
paid a
you
premium,
could.
but it would cost-
You had access to insurance, but it cost you
kind of
an arm and a
pointless.
leg. It was like I can't afford this.
How much was how much was
Oh
it
my
before?
God.
Like a couple thousand a month or something?
It was
Wasn't
pretty
that expensive.
Well,
I don't
we're going
remember,
back like
It was a-
30 something
yeah.
years.
but-
So before the Affordable Care Act, it used to work like you would just get the bill and then you would be liable for like a certain percentage
Like
of it, no matter what.
30%.
let's
like
say
30%.
30% of it.
Which
so
is not
30% of
helpful.
$1 million
Yeah.
is still
Yeah.
$300,000.
And if a $200,000 bill and you're on the hook for $600,000, like
Right.
what's
Right.
the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most Americans statistically can't put $500 in cash together within 30 days
Right.
because people are credit card debt,
Right. Well, it's
student
hard. It's a
loan
tough
debt.
world.
Yeah. So, then to have to face a medical crisis like that.
Your grandmother Anne,
Mm-hmm.
her sister Pensy had kidney problems.
Wait a
and,
second. The audio is out,
Uh-oh.
or is it not?
Hold on one sec. We have technical issues. How's the audio?
You should move your mic a little closer. He said.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
But it's not like a major breakdown. Audio works?
Okay, it's
Okay,
fine.
it's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Mom.
Sorry.
Your aunt who had kidney, she had kidney dialysis and all that, and she spent her entire life paying her bill because her husband had just left a job. So in between jobs, when he wasn't insured, is when that happened to her, and she spent the rest of her life paying.
It's just mad. It's just mad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally believe that healthcare should be a right.
It's a right,
I think
exactly.
so.
Yeah.
I think so. In this country of plenty, when you have people who are so obscenely rich, how do you make $1 billion without shitting all over the planet? Like, there's so
Yeah.
much wealth. Poor people should not have to worry about dying
Yeah.
versus paying their bills. Like,
Shameful.
it's shameful, and
Yeah.
I think most people would agree with that because there's a lot of opposition, a lot of people who hate Obamacare, but I think they just don't understand what it is and what it does, right?
Right.
I think they're catching on now.
Well, when you ask people, do you support the Affordable Care Act? Yeah, I like that. What about Obamacare? No, I hate Obamacare.
No, people
And
are
it's
getting
just
smart though.
because
Well, so politicized. I mean,
Right.
it's just like
Democrats did a bad job of telling people what it was about. It's easy to be against something, but to be able to actually talk about the positives in that, it just, Democrats did a really poor job
Well,
of rolling it out.
something that I'm grappling with myself is like there's so much information, there's so much misinformation today.
Yeah.
How do you even sort it? Like like we're in this age of information, and there's so much fact. Some of it's wrong, some of it's right, and you can easily check and see what's right or not. But there's so much being thrown at you.
It's overwhelming.
Who has even the time to fact check this stuff? It's at the point where it's like this great paradox of our time where it's like there's more misinformation being spread than ever before because it's just so overwhelming. It's too overwhelming. So you have people talking shit about the Affordable Care Act. You have people trying to say, no, this is a good thing. This is what it does. It has some flaws, but this is what it does. And it's like you just listen to who you trust.
Right.
And nobody has time to check it out.
Right.
But I've been seeing a lot of like poor conservative people who supported repealing it, and now they're like, oh, fuck.
Right.
I actually
Right.
can't. I actually am
Now
gonna
I'm in
die.
trouble.
I'm gonna
Right.
actually die.
Right.
Right.
That's right. I've seen so many people turning up at town halls for Republican senators and Congress people, especially, and people saying, "I will die if you repeal this." And
Yeah.
How do you? What do you say
now
to that?
now they're working on their secret plan. The Republican senators that they're 13 white Republican men, not telling anyone exactly what the details are, completely hidden, and then they're just going to try to pop it out and get it passed immediately. No public debate. When they complain that, Obamacare was rushed through. Well, it took a year of hearings and debate and everything before it became law. Now they're trying to rush this out in a couple of weeks, and the Senate version not letting anyone see at all what they're doing. So,
And it's very complicated. I mean, things could be fixed, things could be made better, but it's like they want to throw the baby out with
I'm
the
scared. If
bathwater.
they remove something like pre-existing
Existing.
conditions or caps,
I'm
yearly
screwed.
caps, then
Right.
like when they were debating this when you were sick,
Right.
and
Right.
and I knew that if they repealed it, you would lose your health insurance at like the most critical time,
Right.
and we as a family would all have to foot the bill. Like my choice is like let you die. I mean, it would be a family responsibility. We were all going to have to. It was going to cost us all a lot of
Well,
money to support you.
I would have just
What? You guys can go bankrupt. You
Pull-
can't afford
pull-
it.
well, it's like
What?
that.
Let yourself die?
pull the plug.
Is that what you're saying? Rather than letting us support you, my mom would rather die.
Do you know who Jack
Take
Benny
a
is?
couple times.
It's been almost an hour. We should take a
Okay,
break.
yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
We have to do a
Yeah, after
sponsored
this-
break.
Okay.
Please.
There's one update. Everyone keeps asking where is SoFlo, because we said that he was going to be
Oh
here
yeah,
this
okay.
week.
So guys, SoFlo is joining us. We're working out the details. It didn't work out this week, but we're
Yeah.
definitely booking him. I think on the 30th.
That's why we're here. Where is SoFlo?
you just gave the answers.
Yes.
So next week is Steve-O. You will not want to miss that one. It's going to be amazing. And the week after that, I'm working on booking SoFlo, but I'll keep you guys informed. So let's take a little quick break here. We'll tell you guys about Naturebox.
Do tell.
Have you guys ever heard about Naturebox?
That's like a good, healthy snacks, right?
Yeah, you know about
Yeah.
Naturebox.
Heck yes.
You listen to like a lot of podcasts. Naturebox.com. Naturebox.com /H3.
Yeah.
So Naturebox is like a healthy snack alternative kind of thing.
Good
It's made
stuff.
with good ingredients and healthy ingredients and some dank-ass snacks.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. That's
Okay.
very good.
Okay.
So
That is
essentially,
good.
they have over 100 snacks. I haven't tried them yet. Our first one's on the way. But I want to show you guys what they have because I'm actually they look delicious.
Ooh.
If you guys go to
Probiotic.
naturebox.com/H3, you get 3 free snacks with your first order. That's free with 2 capital E's. Snack time. And if you don't like it, then there's no risk because it's free. If you guys don't like it, that's how confident they are. They're snacks.
It looks
They
delicious.
do
and
look
it
Yeah.
really good. I
They
gotta
actually
say.
look
They do.
legit.
Look at that
reminds me I
probiotic,
didn't have
power
breakfast.
mix. That
You
looks
sure they're
pretty
not
good.
here yet?
They're not here yet. But
Damn.
But like, okay, so this sriracha roasted cashew looks insane. I
Yep.
want those ones.
Wow.
But apparently they're all like low calorie, healthy, good
Dark
ingredients.
cocoa. That looked good too.
Can you put my email address in there, Eli? Go back again and get me
You
those
want to
free
get
samples.
that free?
Hell yes.
I'll hook you up. I'll get you a coupon code. These Belgian mini waffles are so good. But look at this shit. Dark cocoa.
That looks good.
Cheddar crisps. Get on board at
we-
naturebox.com/H3. Get 3 free flippin' snacks.
I wish we had them here now.
Yeah, I would snack on those. But we'll have them next week if you guys want to come.
Oh, great. I'll
Mocha
try
almonds,
back.
are you kidding me? I don't know. These snacks are amazing. And I've heard they're absolutely delicious. So,
Jalapeno jerky.
Crushed
Yeah.
red pepper beef
Sweet.
jerky.
hook
You
me
would
up.
love that.
Yeah, I definitely need to get on that.
That would be interesting.
So head on over there and give them a shot. And I appreciate them for supporting our show.
Looks delicious.
And God bless.
Thank you, NatureBox.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
naturebox.com/H3. Ela, links in the chat box.
Yeah, actually, thank you to PB Nerd. He already put it
Oh,
in the
thank you.
chat.
You should spam it though. If you guys are interested in some healthy, wholesome snacks, naturebox.com/H3. Okay, let's take a quick bathroom break. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. If you guys leave, I don't want to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be real bad. Okay?
Oh, he's already. I was just
Okay,
about.
good.
I'm
Thank
too
you.
slow. I was
Thank
just
you,
about
guys.
to spam it, and he's already spamming it.
Guys, if you leave, it's gonna be really bad. I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be regret. It's gonna be sadness, and you may never see me or Ela again. So please don't leave. We'll be back in a short 2 minutes. So be right back. Welcome back, guys, to the H3 podcast. Here with my parents, Donna and Gary,
Woohoo.
and of course the legend Ela Kleiner. You guys know what's up.
Hey now.
You were just about to get into the story before the break about the miracle child, which is a story I love.
Oh, that you saved
I'm
my
the
life.
miracle child.
Yes, you saved my life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me that story. I love it.
Well, I thought I was pregnant, and so I went to the doctor.
Dad, why do you have to eat like the loudest thing in the world?
Sorry.
Here, let's pour it out into a cup.
I know, Dad's a
Here.
snacker.
You can put it on the table.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't you hate that when you go to the movies and someone's like eating popcorn and you can hear it?
You want to put on any music videos while we're having this
Yeah.
conversation?
No,
just kidding.
I'm good.
All right.
Move your laptop too.
So anyway,
Side.
sorry, as you were saying.
Well, I mean, I wasn't feeling well, and so I figured I'm pregnant. So I went to the doctor.
Was that a normal conclusion, or were you trying to get pregnant?
No, I think with you, I wanted to get pregnant. Sean was the only
Did we ever
"Oh."
try to get pregnant?
I just
I
walk
know,
past a
not with
bed and I
Jessica.
get pregnant. I swear.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
I said I can walk past a bed and get pregnant.
No,
Well, in
no,
the
it's
old
Strange
days.
statement.
You mean when you have a husband who is so incredibly masculine that he can get a woman pregnant just by looking at her?
I hope that's not
and
the
that's
case,
what happens.
Because how many illegitimate children are out there?
Oh, Lord.
There's a lot of
How many
there's a lot of
recliners?
Gary Snows out there.
Gary Snow.
From walking past a bed.
Oh my God. Well, the truth is somewhere in the middle there.
Right.
So.
I know. Well,
Please
it's not
continue.
a big story. I went to the doctor because I thought I was pregnant, and if I hadn't gone to the doctor, I would never have known that I had thyroid cancer because I had cancer when I was pregnant with you.
But you were pregnant,
I was pregnant,
and you also had cancer.
but I was sick from the cancer, and I thought I was pregnant.
But
It's
you
one
were
of those. I
pregnant.
thought I
It
had
was
food
both.
poisoning.
But again,
I
to
had
prove the
heart.
point, Mom is a
Wow.
horrible storyteller. We went to see her OBGYN, and he found a lump there, and he thought that it would endanger the child, and he recommended maybe you don't want to go through this
Oh,
pregnancy,
yeah.
which would mean Ethan wouldn't be sitting here
Yep.
entertaining all
So
of
the
us.
doctor suggested aborting
Yeah,
me.
he did.
Right.
I was
Wow.
like 4 months pregnant with you.
That's
and he's-
amazing.
and
4 or
he's-
5 months.
Yeah, and he said to me, "How long have you had this lump in your throat?"
So you knew you were pregnant? Or did I not
Wait,
No, no,
yeah,
no, this-
wait,
no, no, no,
wait,
the-
you're 4 to 5 months
I was,
pregnant.
I
You
was,
ha-
I
You
was.
should have known.
Why
by
is
then.
my belly getting so big? Where's my period?
I know, no. I went to the doctor because I wasn't feeling well, and he said to me, "How long have you had this lump in your throat?" And I said, "What lump?" And that's when I was going through all these tests, and it wasn't until I was 4 or 5 months pregnant
Got
with you
it.
that they realized I had cancer.
Okay.
And so
It's a real slow-moving cancer, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
and if
it's
you're
the
gonna have
best cancer.
cancer, that's the
I've
one
heard
you
prostate
want.
cancer is a really slow-moving.
Yeah, that one's
too.
a slow one too.
So my wonderful mother, Eileen Klein,
You look
Laban.
like
Laban,
Kleiner.
Yeah.
you know, knows everybody. Schmoozes. She was our own Lucy. Knew one of the top
no, that's not true.
oncologists at
That's
Cedars.
Not, no, that's
So
not
here
true.
we go. Here we go. Bring it
It was
on.
my cousin Sheila, who is a doctor. She's her doctorate degree in nursing, and she was the one that said you have to go to this particular doctor.
All right, you-
Dr. Katz at Cedar Sinai, who's probably now deceased because he was
That guy's
really
name's a
old.
legend, though. I've heard that name.
Yeah.
He was the head of Cedar
top
Sinai.
one of the top
Yes.
oncologists in the country.
Yes.
So we went to see him
Yes.
and sat in his office, and Donna told him what had happened, that this doctor told her, oh, gee, you might have to
Recommended.
lose the baby. And this was
Right.
after Ethan, no, you were still pregnant. This
I
was
was
like
pregnant. I
weeks
was like
after
4
we
or
talked
5
to the other
months
doctor.
pregnant.
And you know how doctors hate to criticize each other. Dr. Katz, with us sitting there in his office, called this other doctor and chewed him out and said, how dare you scare this woman? You know, after identifying himself as one of the top
Crazy.
oncologists in
Oh,
the
he
country.
knew who he was when he called
Yeah,
him.
Cedar Sinai, and said, you know, what kind of doctor are you? How can you scare this woman? And he kind of adopted Mom as his, you know,
I
as
know.
his daughter.
I was
Just,
the youngest
There's a wonderful
patient.
relationship.
Yeah, he was great.
And
I heard you guys say his name.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Katz.
Katz. He was amazing.
saved my life.
That's
He,
crazy.
Yeah.
he saved both of our lives.
Literally,
So-
without him, Ethan might not be here.
Wow.
So after you gave birth to Ethan,
The minute I gave birth to Ethan, it was like maybe 2 weeks. I had to go in for surgery
Wow.
to take out the
Oh my
tumor.
God.
Man, you've had some rough gigs.
yeah.
Aside
and then I had
from
to go
being
back-
married to me for 42
Yeah,
years.
yeah, really. That's the most.
Doesn't get any harder than that.
It does not, no.
Yeah, yeah. That was.
You're a hero.
Yeah.
So what they do is they give you a radioactive isotope, which searches out the thyroid, any thyroid that may be left after they remove it, and just kills it. But you're radioactive.
Yep,
So
I was
Mom couldn't
radioactive.
get close to the children. I couldn't even go see her for a couple of days afterwards.
I was in
because you're-
solitary.
You're really, you're in solitary.
They came out with a Geiger counter.
Wow.
They did. They were in spacesuits.
So you
Everything was under
you were
plastic.
quarantined for how long?
For a week in the hospital, and then I couldn't go home for another week. And Grandma Ann came, or no, maybe it was your mother. It might have been your mother
Most
that
likely
came.
my
Yeah,
mother.
most likely your mother.
offense.
Because I was staying at my parents' house, and my mother was taking care of me, and I think your mom came out and took care of you. And the doctor let me. You didn't go on a bottle until you were 7 months old. He let me wait.
Hey now,
He let me wait till before I had to take radiation.
that's the best food right there. Mother's
My
milk.
dad's stoked that I was
Okay.
breastfeeding at 7 months. Is that unusual?
No, I breastfed all three of you, and Sean was till 9 months.
Well, now
Were
Caitlin
you
says,
just-
Oh,
Hey,
last week we were talking
wait.
about breastfeeding.
Were you just hey nowing for breastfeeding in general?
hey now,
Hey, shout out to breast milk.
Anyways,
Well,
it
it's
was
like-
fine.
who's Caitlin's sister, who was breastfeeding her son in Game of Thrones. The kid's like 10 years old and he's still
Oh, that was
breastfeeding.
gross.
Oh, that reminds me
Oh.
of Rain Florence. We should watch some Rain Florence videos. There's this YouTuber with like, how old is her son by now?
I don't know, like 4 maybe.
Don't
Her
tell
s-
me.
Yeah,
Yep.
he still breastfeeds.
Oh.
And like she homeschools him.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
and then he can
And
even
it-
speak English.
In her
Wow.
What does he
videos,
speak?
it
No,
seems like
he never learned. He's like
It seems like he
Doesn't
doesn't
she talk to
even
him?
want to breastfeat, and she's like forcing him.
So this story is crazy. So we made a video about this girl like years ago, because she made these videos about doing enemas, and it was just a really obscene video that we made fun of. And I've been following this girl. I haven't made a video about her because it's too sad, too real. But she's been breastfeeding her kid and putting videos on YouTube since she was born. That was 4 or 5 years ago. And people were calling Child Protective Services. So she actually moved to South America to continue breastfeeding her kid.
I mean, I don't know if she says that that's the reason.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
And then, like, she does it. I have a feeling it's like a weird fetish thing because she, like, goes out in public
and breastfeeds him?
and does it in, like, really public places. And like there's shots where like she shows a close up and he's like not latching. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want the tit milk.
The odds that this boy will grow up well-adjusted, 0.0.
Oh, that kid's probably going to eat someone. Like I think it's that bad. He's going to eat somebody.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, he's going to like probably
gonna-
have sex and eat someone's penis. Right? Like that's
How did you even think
I don't
about
know. I'm
that?
like thinking like what's the as weird as these people get, right? He's going to eat
Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah.
Another Ramsey Bolton.
He's going to actually
Yeah,
eat a
we've been
penis.
watching Game of Thrones. We just came across
Another
that
Ramsey
one
Bolton.
episode.
We just watched that episode where it looked like he was eating Theon Greyjoy's wiener,
Yeah.
but actually was a sausage, he said. And
Anyway.
that's pretty
Yeah, that was-
disgusting.
I
That's
put that on,
weird.
but it's weird. It's weird.
too weird
It's
to
too weird.
watch.
I don't like going down that rabbit hole. It makes me uncomfortable.
Let's not.
She's a vegan. Let's keep talking about it. She's a vegan. So she's forcing her newborn baby to be vegan. I don't know if that's good.
She's
No. I
forcing
think
her
she-
newborn baby to be vegan. Well, when
Like
you're
since
newborn,
birth.
all you have is
Tit milk.
Well, you can live
But I
off
remember,
that.
okay, she made a video where he had what was it called? Yellow fever, some shit. Is that a real thing? Yellow fever?
Yeah.
It is.
So she was saying he has yellow fever, and the best antidote is tit milk. She's like, he doesn't need medicine; he just needs to suck on my tit. And she kept trying to breastfeed.
How old was the baby?
He's like 5. He's not a baby. He's like a
Oh,
child.
because before a mother's milk comes in, you get this clear stuff. It's filled with antibodies, and that's why breastfeeding is so.
I don't think there's any antibodies left.
No. They're not.
They're just bodies now.
Yeah,
So this video surfaced of her.
that's kind of sick.
Danny's saying that the chewing.
Oh,
Oh.
the chewing. Dad, what the hell?
Stop.
Come on, I'm chewing tobacco. Come on. Where's my spittoon?
Right.
Pooh.
All right. Let's get the show
Popeye.
back on
I'm
track.
done
All right,
chewing.
so
We got like an
to
hour of my dad chewing.
Let's get on to the
No,
very.
there's one last part I
most-
need to talk about. You
What
can't
is
get off
it?
this.
Are we done
What?
with cancer and?
No, we're
Yeah.
not done.
Not
Not done
We're
with
done
good
Yay.
stuff yet.
We're done with cancer, but then this same girl, we
No.
always figured it was some weird fetish thing, but we never had proof.
Right.
So then a video surfaced of her. She takes videos of herself having sex with the cucumbers and sells them on
Okay.
the internet. That was the final straw for me, where I was like, "Damn, this shit got too weird for me."
Oh,
It's
Are
still,
the,
yeah.
are
Yeah,
the
that's
cucumbers
bizarre.
wearing condoms, or is
No.
this just
It's all natural.
bareback?
That's
All
why you-
bareback.
Yeah,
organic.
Yeah, it's organic. What do you need a condom for?
No, that's true. If it's organic cucumbers, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Non-GMO.
Wow.
Non-GMO, non-condom.
Where can you find these movies?
Oh, Gary.
Find them
That's
at.
sick.
I was just about to plug our sponsor. I'm not sure they like that.
Yeah, let's make a clean cut from
Yeah,
that. And now moving right along.
yeah,
All right, let's get off
right
this
up.
stuff now.
Yeah,
Okay,
good
so
idea.
Now
You
for
wanna talk about
something-
spook stories.
Yes.
For something completely different, as Monty Python would say.
So anyway, you guys know anyone else that has cancer?
Yeah, my best friend Vicky, she just
Oh,
had a
that's a
double
good
Why
one.
did you-
resection.
Still moving right along.
That's a good
She
joke.
just
Leaving
said-
cancer
I'm
in the
sorry.
rearview
my
mirror.
poor
That was a
best
joke, but I feel
friend.
bad
Oh.
now
Okay,
for your
stop.
friend.
Okay.
I wish her the best in her
She's
battle
better.
against
She's
cancer.
better. She's going to be fine. She's
Wish her
doing
the
great.
best.
Yes.
But let's take a 180 turn
Okay.
off that. But I
Okay.
wish her the best.
Ghost story.
Okay, so for
Ah.
some reason, the subject of ghost stories always comes up on our podcast. It's a really interesting topic for us all to talk about. My mom looks very excited right now. I'm assuming you have something to share this. So my question is, I'll start with you, Mom. Do you have any ghost stories?
No, but
Why do you look so excited?
because your birthday present.
Oh, is it about ghost stories?
Might play into that somehow.
Oh.
So you don't have any ghost stories?
Let's
It's
see.
okay, you don't
I've had
have to have.
out of body experience, but
Yeah,
that's
tell
not
me about
but that's
that.
not a ghost story.
Well, it's supernatural. How do you explain that? Ghost.
I don't know how you
God.
explain it.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, so this was a long, long time ago.
How long ago? BG? Before Gary?
No,
Nothing's that long. Nothing
No.
that old.
no.
People
But
don't remember those days.
I was. I don't know if I should
the-
tell this story
Hold on one
on the
second.
air.
People are saying the gain on the mics is too much.
Too much gain?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's too loud. It's like tearing. We have a problem with the sound, Dan? Okay. Sorry, guys. We're fixing that. Can't wait to hear about this.
If you say, I don't know if I should tell this story, the answer is no, you shouldn't.
Okay.
No. What? No.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
oh,
coming-
is it drug related? Drugs
No,
are
no,
fine.
no. It's nothing about drugs.
Tell me about it. Let's hear it. This is the juice. This is why we come together. This is interesting. It's rocking.
You seem worried.
It's a little wild and weird.
I don't know if I should say.
La 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 la. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear it. Come on. You can't not now.
Well,
Oh, this doesn't
oh
sound
no,
Do you
I
know
don't
what
know.
it is
I
yet?
don't know if I
good.
should.
I have
say.
no idea where she's going.
Whisper
That's
in
why
Dad's
I'm
ear.
scared.
Whisper in Dad's ear.
No.
Do
All right,
I even
so-
know this?
So the sound is fine.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
sounds back. Okay,
Oh,
then we
I
have.
don't even know
we
it.
need this story.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Come on, how dangerous can it be? Tell us
It
the
could be
story.
really
Find out.
dangerous. Can I tell you off the air?
Yeah, sure. Everyone listening would love to hear you tell it off the air. No, you're committed now.
Okay,
could it
people
be?
don't
Let's go.
listen.
Spring it.
Okay,
Let's go.
all right, all
Let's
right.
hear it.
Do you want to write it first for us? And we...
She was ready to tell
Okay,
the
tell
story.
it. Okay, tell the
Let me
story.
call my attorney first.
All
Is
right,
this going
well-
to end in me filing for divorce papers or
No,
something? Okay,
no,
good.
no. Your father and I have been married for 42 years.
42 years.
Wow.
42 years.
Seems like a long time.
Yes. And all marriages have ups and downs. There's no such perfect marriage. And we got married when we were young, and there was a time in our relationship where we broke up for a little bit. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, I know
it
the
was,
story.
It was like way before you were born.
Are you playing stuff?
No, I'm not.
This
Yes,
is like
you
the
are,
fifth
Gary.
time. How
You
are
can't
you
hear
playing
anything.
audio?
Gary,
What the hell?
ADD.
You're
come on,
chewing,
come
you're
on.
playing stuff. This is out of control.
All
Okay.
right, you stop, please.
It's
Just
So-
mute it. Just turn off
Yeah,
the sound.
I
of
know,
it.
It's done.
Here's a
Please.
tip. You gotta
Stop.
mute it.
Just mute it. You could. All right, yeah,
Louise.
Mom,
Stop
we're ready.
picking on me.
Oh my God! Well, stop doing what you're doing. So, anyway, so this was a time in my life, a short time, when I was with another person, and I was actually in
You guys
bed.
weren't together. You blew it.
Yeah,
No wonder I never heard this story.
I
Please
was
continue.
I was actually in bed, and this other person was sleeping, and I was up. At least I thought I was up. Maybe I was sleeping, and I just remember I was somehow I was like flying, and I was looking down on myself and this other person, and I thought for a minute that this was really cool that I was flying, and then I got scared.
'Cause you're like, what the
And
fuck?
yeah, I got scared. And then I remember I took my hand and I tried to grab myself to hold on to not like fly away from my body. And my hand went through
Weird.
my body. And I thought, oh my God, am I dead? What's happening?
Crazy.
And then at the last minute, when I realized that maybe this is not a
dream?
good thing, maybe this isn't a dream, maybe something horrible has happened to me, I screamed out your father's name. I did. I swear to God. I
That's
said,
a wonderful story.
I screamed
Let's
out your
not-
name because I wanted you, and I think we got back together.
You have such good
afterwards.
taste.
Wow, that was a wonderful story. What was the problem with that story?
I was in
I have
bed
no problem
sleeping
with
with
that
another
story.
man.
You weren't together. You had
No,
to
we were
break
not.
up.
No, we weren't.
Let's talk about how much fun I had
Never
during
mind.
the
I
disco
don't wanna-
era
I
when
don't
we
wanna
were
hear
broken
about
up.
that.
Hold on, wait. So
I don't
what
wanna hear
do you think maybe it could be like a sleep paralysis thing? Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, it couldn't have been real. I couldn't have been flying, but it seemed so real.
You
'cause
could
I
have
was,
been flying.
I was looking down on myself, and I wanted
You
an
thought
anchor.
you were awake.
Maybe you're
Yeah, I thought I was awake.
maybe you're a warg.
I don't
You've
think
been
so
watching
because
too
I
many
was.
videos,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't
we're-
in something else. It was just
So-
me. So that was my weird.
How did it end?
I woke up. I was screaming for Dad's name, and then I woke up.
You're not the first woman to do that.
Okay, come
Oh,
on.
come
We're trying to make this a
on.
nice moment.
Jeez.
Christ.
Jeez
I can hear
Louise.
laughter from the
One,
peanut
one,
gallery
one
there.
thing happened to me that was really weird. This is when your sister was a little baby. She was like maybe 4. Well, not a little baby. She was maybe like 4.
Yeah.
But
That's not a baby.
This is before both you and your brother were born.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was having a weird dream, a monster dream. And it kind of was freaking me out. And I woke up and Jessica came into the room and she said, Mom, I'm having this monster dream. And she wanted to like crawl into bed with us for security because she was having it was the same dream that I
You
was
guys were having
having.
the same dream.
The same dream.
That's bizarre.
That was really weird.
Have you guys spoke about that? Like,
Oh,
now?
all the time.
Huh.
All the time. We both made. I mean, it was
That's
something we
pretty
remembered.
spooky.
Yeah.
Like I've heard about people having the same dream. That's really weird that
And
can happen.
yeah, and I woke up when she came
Whoa.
into my room and told me that she was having this monster dream. And
Monster dreams.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
yeah, so that's about all.
Did you have any Monster Energy drink that night by any chance?
No, I don't think they had those.
All right, I'm just asking.
Dad, do you have any ghost stories?
No, not.
You're like me. I feel like
I'm
you're
very
more,
empirical.
Yeah.
I've just had my weird dream stories like Mom, too, like the one with the movie poster and
Wait, you got
my
to tell that. Do you
biological
mind
father.
telling that
No.
story?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I think
the
it's
movie
really,
poster.
it's really interesting. And I
Yes.
see the effect it had on you.
Yeah. It's, well, I was, my wonderful mother, Eileen, was way ahead of her time. She got married very young, married her high school sweetheart, who uncle was in the movie industry. His uncle, my biological father's Leonard Katzman. His uncle was Sam Katzman, who was the king of B movies. So my mother, though, was divorced when I was about 4 and a half or so. So he became a single mom, divorced, working, and no one did that back in the 50s. And my father worked for his uncle on doing movies. He ended up going to a lot of fame and fortune. He wrote Who Shot JR? Anyone who knows Dallas. He wrote and produced, all of the famous Dallas shows. So he had a tremendous amount of success. And I was actually in a movie because of his uncle. He was shooting a movie called The Magic Carpet, which was in probably 1951. And it starred Lucille Ball and Raymond Burr and all these people who no one knew who they were back then. And they needed a baby to be laid on a magic carpet and fly out the window and grow into someone else who had a baby. Well, Lenny Katzman had a baby, which was me. So I was on the magic carpet. I flew out the window. I grew up and I came back as John Agar, who no one even knows now, who I would never have cast to grow up as me. But there you have it. So I knew that there was a poster, something about this movie, but it was so small, you never hear anything about it. It's never on TV anymore. But there's
It's a small-time movie.
very small-time movie, right?
B movie.
Sam Katzman, B movies, 1951.
Can you even find it on IMDb? Does it even have a page?
It exists, and I always look for it on TV just to see if I was in it. And there's a
Billing.
tremendous company called Heritage Auctions, and they do movie poster auctions and collectibles, and I think they're one of the biggest auction companies in the country. So I put a search in for them for The Magic Carpet, the movie I was in. And this was, really almost as soon as the internet started going, and
Decades
Heritage
ago.
Auctions existed, right, probably 15 years ago at least.
Okay.
And it was there, nothing. And about 6-7 months ago, I had the oddest dream because I was legally adopted by Mike Klein, the wonderful man who raised me, took me as his own child, legally adopted. So I gave up the Katzman name. I never, really even thought, had a dream, had any concepts about, what Lenny was doing aside from Dallas and all that stuff. But about 6-7 months ago, I had a really odd dream where I was kind of like a fly on a wall, kind of an ethereal spirit floating around. And I could see a guy who I knew was my father, Leonard Katzman, standing in front of a movie theater, pointing at the windows they have in front with the posters of the movies there. And he was standing with a bunch of his friends, standing there talking to them, pointing at it. Now, I couldn't, actually hear what they were saying, But I knew as clearly as I'm sitting here looking at you, I knew exactly what was going, that it was my father. And he was talking to his friend saying, look, this is me. This is the first movie I've looked at, this is pretty cool, right? And I woke up after that, and it was just very profound, of the fact I had dreamt about my biological father, who I had never, ever had a dream about before.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I did. Let's go back to that.
Okay.
Remind me of that. So, I woke up and I told Mom, I was like, wow, I had the weirdest dream. I was up in the air floating, and I saw my biological father, talking about this. And of course, Mom didn't remember it when I came to her later, and which was very disappointing. But anyway, so about 3 weeks, a month after having this really weird dream, I get a notice from Heritage Auctions after 15 years, the Magic Carpet movie poster is now available.
Yeah, and you've been looking for it all your
Looking
life.
15 years. I'd had a search up for that.
And how long between that
This
dream?
was like 2 weeks after I had had that weird dream.
Wild.
Of my father pointing at this poster.
Right.
So just, the odds of those things being not connected
It's really wild.
just seem very weird. And again, like you, I'm very empirical. I'm very scientific. I don't believe
where I
in
get it from.
mumbo jumbo. But
I don't believe in ghosts.
just, the odds of that happening it just seems so weird that, I believe in the strange contradiction that you control what happens in your life, but certain things are destined or fated to happen, which is a total oxymoron. But that's what I believe. I believe I was destined to meet your mother. Certain things just happen in life. Now, of course, your brother will argue till he can't talk anymore that this doesn't happen. But,
Well, it's a philosophical debate. There's
Yeah.
no correct answer to it.
but to have that dream, and then a couple weeks later, after 15 years, to have that movie poster up, just,
That is really,
Pretty
weird.
really bizarre.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in coincidences, and that was just
That one's
too
pretty-
strange of a coincidence. So now I have that movie poster. I actually should
You
have
bought
brought
it.
it with me.
Yeah.
I bought it.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
I bought
love
it. And one, so it came up for auction, so I bid on it like $25, $30. And someone bid against me. And it's like, dude, I don't know who
I
you
had
are.
the dream, Doug. I
Yeah.
had the dream.
Everyone else in this movie is dead. So I know you have no connection because I was only 6 months old when this movie was made.
Right,
So,
right.
maybe some people are alive, but, no one has any interest. And it's like, dog, I'm winning this poster. I don't care how much it
So
takes.
how high did it get?
And it ended up only costing me like $50 or something.
He wasn't that invested.
Yeah, exactly. That's
He
what
didn't
I
have any
figured.
dreams about it,
Right.
probably.
Yeah, no
So I
dreams.
have it. I haven't gotten it framed yet.
Yeah, we need to get it framed.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It was nice to have
So-
that after thinking about it for so long.
What do you make of that? I mean, what's your feeling on that? Do you feel like
Coincidence
aspect of
or
it?
just
no? Like, I mean, do you feel like it has something to do with like your dad from beyond the grave or something? Just like cosmic.
I don't think so. Going back to the other question, did I ever meet him? Your mother, after Jessica was born,
Hey.
called Lenny, my biological father, and yelled at him for not being there.
Wait, who did?
Even though he didn't. Your mom, from the hospital, called him up and yelled at him
Wait.
for not being
it
there
wasn't
when
a-
his first grandchild was born, even though he had no idea that his first
Wait. When who was born?
Jessica.
Grand
sister.
Okay.
I had heard about Leonard.
Right, everyone knew of him because of his fame now in Dallas and everything
Yeah, it
else
was
that
pretty-
was going on.
Anyways, I was just Dad told me that a story when he was a little boy and his father left the house for the last time, and do you want to tell the story?
Well, yeah, that was the last when we finally got together. After years and years, I finally worked up the nerve to call him. He was working at MGM Studios in Culver City, and Dallas was going strong. And I finally called him up, and this was probably in the mid-'80s, I would think. And, got transferred to his office, and they went, who is this? And I went, it's Gary Klein. I'm Leonard's son. So I got through. I talked to him. We got together. I went down to MGM Studios.
Wow, that must have been surreal for everyone.
It was very weird. It was kind of like strangely awkward.
I can imagine. I mean, it's no one's fault. It's like
Right.
just out of the blue.
I thought it was someone's fault.
So
Well, clearly,
And you can't really
And in
relate.
the moment, I mean, what can you do?
Right, and you can't really relate to this till you're a parent and you realize what it's like to give up a child. But his last memory of me was, me as a 4-year-old child standing in the driveway as he's driving off for the last time saying, Daddy, Daddy, where are you going?
That's heartbreaking.
Which, yeah, exactly, has to really tear you apart.
Right.
But at the same time, he didn't
Well, at the
You know.
request of the father who adopted me, everyone thought it would be better if I just grew up with one father rather than
That's
being
what they did in those
conflicted and
days.
having
Wait,
two
that's
fathers.
fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people used to do that in
How do
those
you
days.
feel about them making that decision for you now, in retrospect?
It's tough, especially knowing how rich and famous my biological father became. It kind of pissed me off in
Wait,
retrospect. but-
That's fucked up. That doesn't seem right to block you out from your biological
Well,
father.
but that's what you did then, and looking back on it, what the father that adopted me took on was the fact, this woman had been with another man. He had a son who had already been influenced by this guy, and to take me on and raise me as his own son, completely the same as my brother and sister, and the families I ended up with a half brother and half sister with my new family, and my biological father remarried a woman who brought an older son into the marriage, just like my mom did. And then they had a girl and a boy. So they were like shadow families of exactly the same family that my family had. And then
Yeah. So anyways, Dad told me the story about how his dad left, and of course being a modern woman, thinking what is this? You give up your child? No, it doesn't work that way. That's my thinking.
Well, yeah, it seems insane to me now, but I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems totally. I mean, now these days it's like what you
Right.
get a new dad and you fuck off. It's
right,
it's mental.
exactly. So I when Jessica was born, I called up Lenny. He just came in from being in Hawaii.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
was
that.
working on Hawaii Five-0
Right.
probably. He did Wild Wild West and Hawaii
Right.
Five-0 and a whole chain of
Right.
before
So, and I
Dallas.
just said, I explained to him who I was and that he was a grandfather, and he dropped the phone. He was like so freaked out.
Wait, he dropped the phone?
Yeah.
He hung up on you?
No. He like dropped the phone and then he picked it up. He was just like so
what did he
stunned.
say?
He's like, I mean, I just said,
Did he
I'm not
come?
asking for anything. I just wanted you to know you're a grandfather.
Did he ever come?
No.
Huh.
No, and
Did he ever show interest in being involved?
Not
in it?
really. No.
Do you think? I feel like,
I think that ship had sailed at that point.
Yeah.
but
he
not
was-
at that. But I mean, like when you were growing up, because I feel like maybe back then
Well,
it was one way, but still probably the dad would have some curiosity
Yeah.
to be involved.
Well,
How's
especially,
your feeling on that?
I mean, if he had just been some schlub, it probably wouldn't have mattered. But the fact
He was
that he
famous.
went on to such success and that he had two adopted, one natural and one adopted son who worked on the show, and I would see their assistant director and credits. And then when I found out that Mitchell, my half brother, who is another weird story how I met him, worked on the show, was an assistant director, and ended up being the boyfriend of Victoria Principal for 6 months or so, who was back in the day, who was almost as beautiful as your mother,
So,
and lived with her as his girlfriend. But
that's
there's
what
good and
bothers
bad.
me.
There's good and bad.
What were you saying? That just the fact that like
he was missing all
you
the,
were-
the-
yeah.
But there, for the sake of God, goes I.
Yeah.
So that should have been me. That was my thinking. Not counting.
you were sad at
He
the
was jealous,
opportunities.
I think.
Yeah, jealous essentially.
Exactly.
You were jealous.
Yeah.
That's kind of a real thing to acknowledge.
Yeah.
I feel like that would like is an underneath emotion that would take time to realize.
Yeah, because I grew up as a middle class. We did okay. We grew up in a great area, and I had great friends. But when you look at what you could have been, I could have been rich. I could have
That
been
bothered you.
successful. It did, but after meeting my brother and finding out what he went through and knowing my addictive personality, back in that time, I would have killed
would've been-
myself, would have OD'd on cocaine, would have done something like that, where, we wouldn't have gotten to this point. Because I've said many a time, the best thing that ever happened to me was meeting this incredible woman right here. And that's been the blessing in my life that's led to everything else. So
that's
So
right.
you think-
Don't you forget it.
I feel the same
Thank you.
incidentally. But like, I find that really interesting. Like, so after all these years, do you think that you found peace with it after seeing kind of like imagining maybe that your life wouldn't have been as good? It would have been more fucked up.
It would
you
have
stayed
been
with
messed
him.
up.
Or had he never left, or
Yeah, it would have been interesting to try. You know, he had
Well,
the
in an alternate universe,
right. He had the big, beautiful house on the beach in Malibu and all of the things. You know, he really had the best part of success, which is the money and the power without the fame. So he
Right,
could
right,
go
right.
anywhere he wanted. No one would recognize him up until the Who Shot JR, and he had his picture in People magazine or whatever.
know.
You know, no one knew who he was. So he could go crazy, spend a lot of money, and, you know, and have all the success.
But
So-
money does not buy happiness.
well,
That
no,
is
most
true.
definitely not.
That's true. But as David Lee Roth said,
It sure
money
helps.
doesn't buy happiness,
Yeah.
but you can buy a big old cabin cruiser and cruise
Yeah.
up that close to it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
money doesn't hurt. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So,
Well, I find the whole thing interesting. I find it so interesting. Like, I feel this way with you guys. I imagine that everyone feels this way about their parents to some degree. But it's like there are these people that you spend your whole life with. You spend more time with your parents than almost anyone, you know. And there's just so much you don't know about them. Like how frequently do you sit down and just have like a conversation where you just talk about shit? Like the fact that you were adopted and all these details and stuff is something that we hardly ever spoke about.
Right.
But it's someone I spend my whole life with. Like how many times? And it's just it's like a weird father son or just parent relationship. It's very interesting. I don't know why that is. Why don't you talk about? Why don't you talk about that stuff with your parents? It's weird.
We talked about. I don't know.
I mean, generally
I don't know.
not
They
that
would-
much.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably because
I don't
you're
know. It's another life.
It's so familiar, right?
Maybe.
And
Well-
you're so moving on to,
Different
now we're
places,
parents and
yeah.
right, it's,
We're not
Yeah.
peers, or maybe up until. I mean, we're not peers, but like only until like the age of when I can like have my own job and I'm
Right.
supporting myself. Can I sit down across the table from you guys and be like, we're
Right.
we're peers, right? Like I can talk to you guys about your life and stuff.
well, at this point, I'm happy you consider me a peer.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, you just try to
Yeah.
raise your kids in the best way that you know how.
Well, as you find out when you become a parent that, when you're a kid, you grow up thinking, wow, my parents know everything. They're so smart.
Right.
And
And then you
have a
slowly
baby,
realize, fuck
and you
these
realize you
people.
don't know what the fuck you're doing, and that your parents didn't know what the fuck
Yeah.
they were doing, but everything ends up okay.
Yeah.
Somehow you muddle through. You call them once in a while to get advice, but
Yeah.
as an example, I mean, look at these two great kids that grew up to be really good people. So we
Yeah.
did something right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As
you guys
did
did something
Hila's
right.
parents.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird,
Definitely.
wild stuff. Parents, huh? What do? You can't live with them. You can't live without them. All right, literally. All right, let's take another commercial break here.
okay.
We got another sponsor here. We got 3 sponsors.
Oh
We're
my
popping.
goodness.
So the last week we spoke about MeUndies. Not last week, but previously.
Yeah, previously.
MeUndies is this really wonderful underwear company. Modal. How's that called?
Yeah, modal.
Modal is like the. Have you guys ever felt modal?
I have
before?
not. I
Feel
would
that.
love
That's
to.
the underwear that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
So,
Feel
oh yeah,
it.
here. They look enormous. I don't know if this will fit you.
It's not
Okay, not.
enormous.
But
I don't know
those
why.
are girls or boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. Oh, I'm not fitting
Girls.
into that. That's going to be a disgusting mess. I'm like,
They look
anyway,
kinda big.
Anyway, feel that material. It's like
I want to feel. Ooh,
so. If you
was
guys,
good.
that's
if you
nice and soft.
if you guys go to meundies.com/H3, you can get 20% off your first pair plus free shipping. Last time I hadn't tried them on, so actually, plot twist. I'm wearing them right now.
Shut up.
Huge reveal.
TMI.
No,
TMI.
but it's so soft.
Those are
and
the
it
boys'
breathes.
version, I hope.
No, I'm in
Yeah.
those, man. It's a mess, dude.
There's no
I'm not.
fly.
Me and Hila can't have
No,
kids
this
after
is
this.
it's a woman's
It's
pair of
just underwear.
Gary.
Okay. Is
Dad,
there
it's not a
like
Rubik's cube. It's a piece
so
of
there should
underwear.
be like a.
No, that's if you're a guy.
It's yeah. Women don't
is a
have a penis to
women's
take out and
underwear.
urinate.
Now you tell me.
That's come as a surprise.
I knew something was missing.
Nice and soft.
It's so soft and it breathes like crazy. It's seriously, I think, the best pair of underwear. Like I usually don't wear briefs, but it's like it's very comfortable, very nice. It's so soft.
I think men should wear briefs. A lot of men wear
I'm
boxer.
a boxer guy. Generally.
Are you?
Yeah.
Most guys are boxer
Briefs
guys
are just
now.
they're tight and they get annoying and they like chafe my fat, pear-shaped, disgusting body.
What used to be the fupa,
Still the fupa.
less fupa.
Less fupa, but these with the MeUndies in the soft middle, it breathes. It's soft. It's
Well, here, I'll try those
cushy.
on right now.
Yeah, pop
Those
into
are
that.
girls' underwear.
No, but like I'll hook you guys up a pair. So the last time we did a MeUndies spot, they had this hilarious thing where if you didn't like it, you send back the undies. So they had they were sorting out dirty undies back there. I mean, it's a nice deal, right? They refund your money, but now they're kicking it up a notch. I guess they heard our spot and they're like, maybe they got too many dirty undies shipped to them. They're like, you know what?
People
It's
just
not worth
wanted to
it.
know
Isn't-
if it really worked. if they
Isn't
were
one too
taken
many?
back.
Yeah, I think once too many. They probably just have a furnace where they just throw it all. So now, if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. You get to keep your dirty
Oh,
undies.
that's a good idea.
That's a great deal. So,
That's smart.
guys, if you want some banging undies, go to MeUndies.com/H3. They support the show. Thank you guys so much. Spam it in the description.
All right.
Thank you guys. And then we'll do one more here while we got you guys, and then we'll just continue on. How you guys doing? You feeling okay? Wow. Sometimes I cough so intensely.
Smith's Brothers Cough Drops is our next spot.
No, that's not a sponsor of the
Okay.
show. But I would love, if there's any cough drop companies out there, it would be a perfect matchup. Next up, you guys know them, you love them. Dollar Shave Club. Have you guys seen this?
Dollar Shave Club?
They-
Yes, I have. I've seen that on
Yeah,
TV.
I've seen it
Dude,
at your house.
They've
Really,
been-
really good.
I want to get some
close
of that
shave.
aftershave stuff. Do
I
you
got
have
it
any
some. I'll give it
extra
to you
of
now.
that?
Yeah, I got
Have
it.
you
I'll
tried
buy
it
you
on your legs, Ela? Have you
I actually do use it.
do
Dude,
you?
it's
Is
the
it really
shave
good?
butter's insane.
People love that stuff.
Like, so Dollar Shave Club has been like so supportive of us. Like, we make on the most controversial, messed up videos. They'll put their shit on there and support us. They're like, God bless you, you know. So that's why I love Dollar Shave Club. And I mean, the product is amazing. So this blade is hefty, boy. That's a strong, hefty.
me see that.
Feel the weight in that.
Is it a double?
Feels
Double?
nice.
Try quadruple.
No.
Really?
What's more than quadruple? 1, 2,
Oh, is that
3,
5?
4, 5, 6. Septuple, I believe.
Is it really?
Wow!
Oh, you're right.
Wow!
So it comes with four
Holy
of these.
moly.
Septuple blades.
These last a while too. Like
Yeah.
you get 4 of these, and you get the shave butter and the razor
That's a lot.
and the post cream for $5.
Nice.
I know it's
up.
called Dollar Shave Club. Okay, we got some kickback. Yes, it's called Dollar Shave Club. You get that for the razor. I'm talking about shave butter, cream, extra cartridges. It's a really good product for $5. That's ridiculous.
Gillette's got to hate these guys.
Seriously, I mean, you go to the grocery store.
Oh,
how
yeah.
much are razors? Like $20 for one
They're
of these.
they're
That-
really expensive.
The holder's nothing, but they kill you on the blades.
What
That's
kind of
why
scheme
if
is
you go
that?
to Costco, like they have the blades on a board. They don't even have the blades because
It's-
people steal them.
It's
They're
like
so
too
expensive.
high value.
Really?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
even behind glass.
Exactly.
No
Yeah.
way.
So $5 for this is honestly a great
Yeah.
value.
Incredible.
And
I like
deal.
the shave
I
butter.
personally endorse the heck out of this. I use it. It's the only blade that doesn't give me razor burn.
I mean, just something like the shave butter would be $5 at
Yeah, easily.
Target or one of those
Easy.
places.
So guys, Father's Day is right around the corner. DollarShaveClub.com/H3. $5 gets you an amazing Father's Day present. In fact, I got an idea for Father's Day.
Shout out.
I'm gonna get you some
There you go.
Dollar Shave Club.
Shout out to Father's Day. Finally, a worthwhile holiday.
Anyway, I honestly can't endorse this product enough. So if you guys are in the market for some razors, I think people spend so much money on that.
Oh yeah.
Just get out there, $5, forget about it.
How often can you reorder? What when you reorder
I think it's a
blades?
monthly. It's a month. I'm not actually
$5 a
100%
month.
sure.
Can't beat
Actually,
that.
I think it maybe is $15 the second month.
Okay.
But the first month is $5. That's the
Even 15
exclusive
is,
offer to you
is
guys.
that's
Still
Oh,
a
yeah.
great
Still a
deal.
good deal.
Absolutely.
So that's the deal. You get $5. Go to DollarShaveClub.com/H3 for your hot blades. And I love all of our sponsors. You guys, these are the best. These guys make the show possible. So if you can support them, if you hear a product that you like and you want to support the show, get involved. Pick it up. We appreciate that. That's the best way you can
just
support
to
us.
correct what you said, afterwards it's $9 a month.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
a
even
re-
better.
Oh, that's even
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's so good.
That's
So its first
nothing.
month is $5 if you use our if you use our URL, and after that, it's 10 a month. Cool. Thank you,
Right.
everybody. Did you spam that shit? Spam it, boy. Cool. All right. Well, thanks to the sponsors. Do you guys want to take a quick bathroom break and come back in like? 2
I want to
minutes?
give a quick shout out to a very polite and friendly young man that came up and said hi to us in Las Vegas. Kane Walmack, a fan of H3H3, came up to us and
Kane
said,
Walmack.
"Are you Ethan's mom and dad?" And mom gets recognized all the time, but it really was the first time.
Well,
Yeah.
Mom's been a superstar. She's
Right.
been part of the
wow.
H3 lore for a while.
So he
But you're
came
new
up and
to
was
Laura.
just
Yeah.
very polite, like all your
Dad was
fans.
thrilled.
Any interaction, they are just the greatest, friendliest, nicest people.
I agree.
So
Yeah, really sweet
thank you,
kids.
Kane, and all of the H3 fans. You guys are fantastic.
Hell yeah.
And
I agree. Our
keep
fans
up
are
the good work. They're fantastic.
They're super nice. I've only had one bad interaction, but he wasn't a fan. He was just an
Yeah.
asshole. I have an interesting. I want to tell that story, but I also want to ask you something. Like tying into that story about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like how does it feel now? Because your dad was famous. I'm not famous on his level. But do you feel like some weird thing about now that you're getting recognized because of your son? Like, is that a weird tie-in to something
It's
with your
fun,
dad?
to be
Isn't that weird?
honest. It's
happened
fun.
to Mom more because she's been in more videos.
I've
but
had people
It will
ask me
happen
to
to you
take
after
pictures
this one.
I'm
Yeah.
sure after this,
with me.
It'll be more.
I won't be able to walk to my car without people harassing
Yeah,
me.
my dad is
We're
fully
proud of
prepared
you
for this moment.
guys.
You've been
It's
preparing for
fun.
childhood, is I guess
Since
my
childhood,
question.
exactly.
Because you had this, you probably, as I understand it,
It's in your blood, Ethan.
you were excited about it, right? You dreamed about being
Yeah.
recognized and being famous.
Come on, I've been in movies since I was 6 months old. So, there you go.
But do you feel like in a weird way you're getting that fulfilled when someone recognizes you on the street?
Not really. It just makes me proud of what you've accomplished here, starting from nothing. And, you guys
Yeah.
have just
Started from
made
the ground and now
something
we're here.
incredible
Thank
out
you.
of this.
Thank
So
you.
it just makes me feel proud.
Yeah, it's fun. When I went to the Starbucks, kind of right where you
Yeah, right
used
by
to
our
work.
house
Yeah, where
in Las
no,
Vegas.
where you used to work, or where you
Okay.
you
on
still work.
Charleston. in
Anyways,
Las
I was with a-
Vegas.
I was
Shout
with a
out to
girlfriend.
Starbucks. Free
Yeah.
coffee, please.
yeah.
Can we get some coffee out here?
And just some young man behind the counter looked up at me when I was ordering my iced tea, and recognized me and asked, to take a picture with me. And
Did he
I-
hook you up?
Yeah, I thought it was really.
Did
it
you
was
get a
fun.
coffee out of it?
No, but I got my iced tea lickety split. He was
You got
very
it there
nice.
fast. Yes,
Yeah.
Mrs. Klein.
Yeah.
It is weird. Being recognized is surreal. It takes some time to adjust to it.
It just happened to me when I was. My mom is visiting here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
also
yeah.
my brother who lived in New York right now. He also came here, so we were all walking downtown LA, and some guy recognized me, and so it's funny because it's almost like you just know each other. So that
Oh, right.
sometimes people will just be like, "Hey, what up?" And it's almost like a friend.
Right.
So my brother and my mom were like, "This is so weird." They
Like
it's
who-
like you walk around and some people just know you, like
Yeah.
you're friends or something.
Well, sometimes people approach you too, and they'll be like, "Hey, what up?" And you don't know if it's like, "Do you know me from the internet, or
Right.
have we met somewhere?"
Right.
Or sometimes people will just like stare at you with like a familiarity in their eye, and you don't know if it's like, "Do you recognize me?" or "What's happening?" Like, there's some interesting encounters as a result.
I remember when we were at the three of us, and Ella was with us. That one time when we went to IKEA, and that young man kept on walking back and forth, and then he
And then
came
he
up to
eventually
us.
came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, where was that? I don't remember.
We
It's
were-
a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago when we were at
Yeah, that happens
by
sometimes
IKEA.
too, where people are like, they don't want to disturb us, or they're like
Right.
embarrassed, and then so like I'll notice them like pacing back and forth.
Right.
That's sweet though.
Yeah.
Well, when I was with Sean, this was in Studio City. We were having breakfast, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this young man sitting in a booth that's like almost as close as I am to you, maybe a little further away. And I looked at him, and he looked so familiar. He had a hat on, and he had a full beard. And I looked over, and I looked at him like, do I know you? And then I realized it was Adam Levine.
Ah, yeah.
He was with his wife.
Right.
And I looked at him, and then all of a sudden, it must have been a look of recognition on my face, like, oh, I
You get
know
a-
who
you
you
get
are.
that a lot.
And he smiled at me, which I thought was really sweet.
Yeah, he's way more famous than we are.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to
But
be
you
like
get that a
that,
lot,
you know.
yeah.
People recognize.
Well, it's an interesting
you off
thing
the
that
street.
famous people have to deal with. At the at the bike shop. I owned a bike shop for 25 years in beautiful Ventura, California. And because we're close to Ojai, I had quite a few celebrity clients, including the late, great Bill Paxton, who was just a really great guy.
Man, rest in peace, dude.
Yeah.
That was like, damn.
That's
shocking.
a shame.
But great guy.
problem.
He bought a ton of bikes from me. He actually bought the Schwinn Phantom, the same bike I had. So when he came in, I could see him deal with that look of recognition that people gave him, and him knowing that, but not wanting to.
You got to
and
live
just-
your life.
Exactly, and just
Yeah.
kind of going guy, and he just handled it so wonderfully. He was just a
Yeah.
really good guy. Rest in peace, Bill.
Rip.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting, it's something, and it's the kind of the double-edged sword of fame, and you're kind of dealing with that too, People that go into the industry want to become famous, they want to become known, and then when you do, it's like, oh, I can't go
mean,
anywhere
there's-
without people bothering me.
Look, there's a lot of drawbacks to it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it comes with territory. Like, we were just watching this clip of Jerry Seinfeld. Someone was asking, how do you deal with being famous and being approached by fans? And he's like, it's part of the job.
Yeah.
It's part of the job. You can't go out and expect to be like, a famous entertainer or a popular entertainer and not deal with like the side effect
Right,
of
have
it.
anonymity. You can't
Like-
have both.
We went
Yeah.
to E3 recently, which is like the biggest video game convention in the world, and it comes to LA every year. And we've never been to a convention before. So was it yesterday?
The day before.
The day before yesterday, we got tickets to go to the show, and we had like an hour and a half left, and like we were getting stopped so much, it was just out of
Wow.
control. And then when one person would stop us, then like a whole group would form. It turned into like a fan meetup where we didn't even get inside the building
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
because we were getting. I guess there's
Yeah.
like, it's usually not that bad, but I think that's like a perfect overlap.
That's what I was
Right.
gonna say.
A lot of
like
people
yeah, it's exactly our audience. The people who
Yeah.
go there.
Right.
Almost like being in Sweden.
Yeah, almost like being in Sweden. So there's like a perfect overlap there of like internet culture,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is where we're the most popular. But like, it was just every step, we were getting stopped and we're trying to meet our friend inside, and he's waiting for us, and we never made it in.
Oh.
And it's like you don't want to be rude.
Right,
You're trying to be like,
right.
I gotta go. I'm sorry,
Right.
but they're like, dude, can I please get a picture? And everyone's got a story of like, man, I love your videos. They're
Did you
like,
text your
Yeah.
friend to let him know you were stuck
Yeah.
outside?
Yeah.
So it's like, on one hand, I appreciate these people so much. So this is why we stopped and we took pictures with everyone.
Yeah. You can't really
But
complain about that.
I'm not, no,
Yeah.
of course, I'm not complaining, but
It's
you just
just-
have to expect
Yeah,
it
you have to
sometimes.
like accept it.
That
I've-
surprised me. That's the first time that we've been kind of like hindered
Yeah.
from doing something.
It felt kind of like a suicide because we just walked in and then it was like,
Immediate.
whoa, what have we done? Like we couldn't really.
We needed disguise or something to do that shit again.
Yes, a lot of people do. They get disguises. I have a funny celebrity story. It
We'll
has
be
to
the
do
judge
with,
of that.
it has to do with Dad's mom. I went out to a deli with his sister and his mom, and I don't might have been Paula, your aunt, and we're having lunch at the deli, and Mel Brooks and a bunch
Legend.
of other really famous writers, comedians are in the booth next to me, and us, and your grandmother Eileen looks over and sees Mel Brooks, and she says, "Mel, I didn't know you were going to be here." And he stood up and he said, "I didn't know you were going to be here
What a
either."
legend.
I thought that was so funny.
What a legend.
I know, because he could have just like blew her off, but he was so funny, and I thought that was great.
Well, that was your first interaction with Mel Brooks, and then
Oh yeah,
You have more Mel Brooks?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Mel Brooks is like the old-timey legend.
Yeah, well, he was
He's
with-
like perfectly grandma's era.
yeah. He was
Well,
with his
but-
wife Annette Bedding when the
one of
second
the
time.
great comics, one of the great
I
writers,
agree.
Blazing Saddles, Get
Yeah.
Smart, so many great things. When Mom and I were in Paris, and I just happened to be wearing my University of Paris t-shirt, we were at the d'Orsay Museum, which is just an amazing museum of Van Goghs and just the most, Mom and I love art, so we could spend hours and hours in there.
It's an old.
Used to be a train station.
and there's a big giant clock, and a lot of people take pictures there.
Right, and outside of the cafe where the clock is, there's like a balcony. You can look over Paris. And we go out there, and there's Mel Brooks standing there just looking over everything.
And his wife,
And
Annette
well, I
Bedding.
didn't see Anne Bancroft.
No,
but,
she was
But I
there.
said to
She
Mom,
was
what do you think of this idea? I'm going to go up to Mel Brooks, pretend I don't know who he is, and say, oh, you're an American. Could you take a picture of us? Which, right? That seems like
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Mom's like, no, don't bother him. Leave him alone. So
It's a great idea.
thank you. She talked me out of
Although
doing
he
that.
knows. He knows you know.
Mel,
It's Mel.
shout out to Mel.
He
So
knows
if
you
you're
know.
listening.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah,
I mean, he was
exactly.
on
He would have known what was
vacation.
up and went, oh, you're a funny guy. Would you like a job as a writer?
that's how all these fantasies play out.
Exactly.
You're the funniest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you.
going to be partners from here on out.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Exactly.
People are really curious about your bad fan story.
Oh, one bad fan story. We've had hundreds at this point, and they've all been amazing. This one happened.
Only one bad one.
Only one bad out of
You
hundreds.
said it like, okay.
Okay. We've had hundreds at the points, and they've all been amazing.
Yeah.
We've only had one bad one. It was in New York. We were in the Upper West Side, which is the neighborhood we lived in, and we were crossing the street to go grocery shopping. And there was a dude across the street he was grinning. He had like a shit-eating grin. Like he was staring right at me. So I assumed he was just really happy to see me. He was probably a fan. He wanted to say, what up? Pretty big guy, too. Pretty burly dude. And so he's at one end of the crosswalk. I'm at another. It turns green. We start coming towards each other. And I'm like, hey, dog, what up? How are you? And I like reach out my hand to shake his hand. And big guy, he fucking shoulder bumps me super hard. And he goes,
Wow.
what's up, faggot? And then he just walked off. He didn't even turn around. And he just walked off. And I was like, what?
It was so
It was
weird.
disturbing. It was weird.
We were about like
sounds
smiling,
scary.
thinking,
I mean, yeah, it was
walking
disturbing.
towards him, smiling, expecting him to just be like, "Hey, I'm a fan" or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like such a
They're like,
shock.
what kind of...
So is this someone that recognized you that's just a dick?
Yeah,
do you
he
think?
definitely recognized me. But for some reason, hater,
Yeah.
You're famous. F you.
that's like
Yeah.
assault.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that,
it
that
is assault.
definitely is assault. Yeah, you can tell when someone recognizes you. You're looking at someone. You
most
can
of the
tell.
time, yes.
You can.
But anyway, I was just like, what? I mean, I wasn't scared so much. I was just baffled.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you? What's wrong with you, dog?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he must have been unstable. Like, who does that?
I guess.
Who actually does that? That's an insane thing
Yeah.
to do. So I'm glad he didn't stab me. I got
I'm glad he didn't stab
Looking
you
on the bright
either.
side.
I'm gonna have to walk around with a vest from now on. Fuck. Yeah, that shit. So there's like that other aspect. I mean, imagine being John Lennon.
Oh God.
We lived literally 1 block away from where he was murdered.
Right in front of the Dakota.
Yeah, he got murdered on 67, right?
72nd.
He got murdered on 72nd. We were on 73rd. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. We when we went and visited you, we were right around the corner from.
Yeah, we've been listening to a lot of the Sirius XM just started a Beatles channel, which is channel
Their
18
music's
for
finally
those of
becoming
you.
more available.
And
Yeah, why is
they
that?
They might
Well, they'll
achieve some success now.
People are starting to the Beatles starting to finally get recognized.
Yeah.
Well, the license holders were real pricks. They just were not giving it up.
Okay.
They were asking for like billions of dollars.
Huh.
Michael Jackson, or I don't know.
Michael Jackson,
Is that
he-
the weirdest thing?
Yeah. Well, I think Paul bought most of his stuff back from them, but
I don't know. I don't know, but I remember when they did that song. What was it? Ebony and Ivory, when they did the duet.
that was Paul and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, because I think
You want to do a little bit of it?
No.
Ebony.
I don't know that
Okay,
one.
That's enough.
no, it
I'd
was,
like to
You
hear
didn't
it.
miss much.
no, it wasn't a great song. But I have a feeling that Paul McCartney probably wanted to be friends with him to get his music back.
You think it was just a big scheme?
I mean, Michael Jackson was a pretty, famous. And,
Interesting. They're on the same level
but-
of fame, I'd say.
But yeah,
It's another topic that I seem to
I
be
don't know.
talking about more, which is, the time when your mother and I grew up, which was the 60s, was such an amazing time to grow up, especially in Southern California here, because of music and lifestyle and
70s
culture, and to
too.
have the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones and all of these incredible acts and the politics. And, I almost hate to say that, we really grew up in what may ultimately be looked upon as, the best time to be a kid in the United States, where, we had hope. We saw the first man land on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
We had President Kennedy. We had civil rights fights and women's equality and so many things, going forward, and so many real social, not phony social justice warrior. What's your name? Humongous type stuff. But
What's your pronoun?
yeah, actual things to be
Yeah,
concerned
that's true.
about. And now
Real
it's
rights.
kind of, not that the country's on the downslide, but there's just not the same optimism that we had.
I completely agree. I mean, and I find that whole thing interesting about like well, you guys are the baby boomers, right? That's your generation.
Yeah,
Baby boomer.
yeah.
I mean, you guys grew up in like the most prosperous time.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of baby boomers throw a lot of shit at our generation for being lazy and not being successful as they were.
Millennials they seem to be, I don't know if envious is the right word of baby boomers, but I see online a lot of people blaming baby boomers, a lot of millennials blaming baby boomers for anything that goes wrong. Oh,
Well, I think
I
they're-
We are
stubbed
in
my
power.
toe.
No,
Damn
but-
you, baby boomers.
No, but we have it way worse than you guys did as a generation.
unquestionable.
So
absolutely
when you
do.
guys criticize us as lazy, like, oh well, I paid myself through college for $10 an hour and I only worked
Exactly.
it's like, well, fuck you,
Yeah.
right? Like how much money do we spend on my college? Like $100,000 at $10 an hour. You don't get to
only
pay that off.
80,000, I think.
And then I
No.
spent 22
Right.
Yeah.
On your
you're
fifth
you're
year.
fifth
on my
year.
5th year. I can't blame you for that, right? But I'm saying,
We laid the rules down.
like looking at the
Was
statistics,
Santa
like,
Cruz the same expenses as
yeah, all the
UCLA?
UCs,
The
all the
chat-
UCs are the same price.
What?
They're going crazy. They want us to talk about when fans come to our house.
Oh God. Okay, better give them what they want.
It's like everyone's just spamming fan house.
So yeah, we do have some weird fan interactions at our house. They haven't been bad. It's just weird because it's like, don't come to my house. It's my private space.
You would think
shouldn't
they would
have to
understand
explain
that,
this
right.
to you. Sometimes, like the first time it happened like a week after we moved in. It was
Yeah.
really creepy because we were so careful to not disclose that or show any identifying area. And these kids show up, and at first I don't answer the door, but I'm like, okay, let me confront this. I want to know, how did they find out where we live? So I go out there, and they're nice guys. I think they just, whatever.
They're fans.
I don't know. They just don't, maybe a little autism. I don't know, to be honest. Like how, they seem like good
I
people.
think they just don't. They don't think about it.
But that's what I
they
mean.
don't see the whole picture.
Yeah, there needs to be
Regard-
a line there.
Regardless, they weren't mean-spirited. They were very kind. They brought us a gift, which I'll get into that later. It's a funny story. But regardless, I was like, how did you guys find our house? And they're like, you showed a sliver of the hillside through the bathroom in your last
Oh
video.
my God.
Wow.
Okay, we went. I'm not sure I believe them
Yeah, I don't know.
because I went back and watched that video, and it's literally like a tiny
All
sliver.
you see is like some trees. Like, how do you know?
So
Well, but if they live there,
No.
it's possible, but more likely, I think they followed us home from somewhere
that could
and
be.
like staked out the neighborhood. And it happened another time, and that's what the guy pretty much admitted that's what they did too.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that story was they came and they dropped off a bottle of Pepsi Max and a $20 gift card to, or no, it was a $50 card to Ralph's and a
Wow.
$25 gift card to Papa John's.
oh wow.
And I was like, guys, I appreciate you coming out here, but it's not cool. Please, you got to respect our boundaries, but it's really nice to meet you. And I kind of like scolded them a little bit. And immediately, the minute after they left, we went straight to Ralph's, spent every single penny on that, went to my friend's house, ordered Papa John's pizza. I was thinking it'd be hilarious if they could like track that online and see that I spent it like immediately. Like we were literally out the door to go to our friend's house. Like I probably spent it all in like the scope of 30 minutes.
yeah.
Is that where the money we spent on that great Ralph's dinner last time I was in town when
No,
we
that
did
was
the
all
fried
us.
chicken and everything that's
all
bad
us.
for you, where we
That meal
paid for it
fucked
the next
me. I haven't been the
next
same
week?
since that meal. I hope you know. Last time my dad was here, we went to Ralph's at 3 a.m. We bought fried
was it?
chicken.
3 a.m.?
No, it was
3
late.
It was like 10.
Okay, whatever.
10 at night, I think.
It was.
We were hungry.
What, are you in trouble? What, do you have to?
Mom's grounding you now.
She's grounding you, dude. Okay, so anyway, we bought fried chicken, tequila, and like
Tequila?
some other horrible shit.
Salsa and chips.
So
and
like
just,
I have indigestion, I have acid reflux, I have a problem, and since that day, I think I got an ulcer in my neck. Like, I was so fucked. I couldn't eat normal food for like a full month, and I haven't recovered from that day.
Really?
My body's jacked, dude. Tequila and fried chicken. Watch out for that. Who would have thought that that's not a good meal to put in your body?
At 11 o'clock at night. Who would have
Holy
thought?
moly.
I have one last topic I want to
And let me just answer the other question. They keep asking if I have a bad fan story.
Well, we all have the
So
same fan stories.
our stories are the same.
You guys don't understand. Me and Ela are always together. Like,
They're
that's not a
connected at the
meme.
hip.
We literally always together.
So that time that Ethan was talking about, I was also there, and it was pretty uncomfortable. But other than that, nothing bad. Everyone's nice.
Yeah, everyone's been great.
Yeah.
Love
And,
the Papa
you
John
know-
gift certificates.
People come to our house is a little awkward.
We just don't answer the door anymore. Like,
Yeah, I
we have a
stopped
camera.
answering the door.
We have a camera outside our house. So if you come to our house and you're a
If-
fan, we don't recognize you. We just don't. We don't
If it's
answer
a
the door.
package, they're gonna leave it. So I'm
Yeah.
just not opening the door.
Yeah, we don't answer the door.
You need
anymore.
like a nice pet, like a dire wolf.
a dire
A
wolf.
dire
Yeah, that'd be
wolf.
helpful. Great. Good suggestion.
Thank you.
So I find this interesting. I don't know why. But I know you guys, children of the 70s, right? Or
60s,
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 yeah.
70s.
when was it that acid hit the scene? When was like the acid test?
That was early 70s.
60s, flower power, no, 60s, mid 60s. Timothy Leary started at Harvard with the acid experimentation. Baba Ramdas, Be Here Now, we've talked about it a little bit. But yeah, the summer of 67, 68 was the summer of love. And that's when all the psychedelic stuff really
Yeah.
started to
You
happen.
guys were there, ground zero, right?
Well, San Francisco really was ground zero, but LA was, Topanga Canyon and
you.
all that stuff, was very popular too. So yeah.
I heard you
we were
guys had some wild. You guys must have some wild stories from those days.
Ay, ay, ay.
Like going on the theme of like never sitting across from your parents and actually like hearing like who they are and what they've been through and what the shit they've seen. Like you guys must have seen some weird shit during that time, right?
Okay, I've got a story.
Let's go. Here we go.
So my brother was getting married, and Dad was graduating from UCLA also. And it was in the evening, and my grandfather, who spoke very broken English, he spoke Yiddish, was staying over at our house. And your father and I decided to do some psychedelic window pane. And
Window pane.
Was it
Wait,
window
what?
pane or was it
LSD,
bladder?
yeah.
Wait,
no,
what the
what
hell
is
is window
that?
pane? Don't
Window
take
pane.
window pane.
Window
Sounds like
pane.
you're drinking Windex.
They took like
It's like a little
acid in an
plastic.
eyedropper, and it was a little piece of plastic.
Oh.
And you put it actually in your eye.
What?
No,
No
the mate was
way.
bladder. 'Cause this I did. I put it on my tongue.
Okay.
Wait, you actually drop acid in your eye?
No, I this is well, window pane. That's what they call. This was bladder. Anyways, it was a little.
Why your
square
eye
piece-
though? That's fascinating me. Like
Well,
that seems.
That's
Doesn't,
weird.
didn't hurt.
No wonder you're.
Yeah, really. Was
The
it
hell
your
you
left
putting
eye
in
or
your
your right?
eye?
I think we need some long-term studies about that.
Jesus.
So Dad cut it with a razor blade in quarters. Quartered it. So I
Right.
took a little bit and put it on my tongue, and then I thought, I don't think I took it.
Classic
I think
mistake.
it-
Yeah.
Right.
Rookie
Problem with
mistake.
psychedelics. So I'm not coming on.
So
Let's do some more.
Let's do some more. So
Oh
I
my
did it.
God.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, of course, as soon as you do that,
The
you
family
start coming
shows
on
up.
to the
Then
first hit.
there's no going back.
Oh my God. So I was in the house, and my grandfather was speaking to me in Yiddish.
Right.
And I'm laughing, and he thinks he's like the funniest.
He loves
man.
it. He's feeling it. He's not like,
thinking,
there's something
"Oh my
wrong with
No,
that.
you spoke Yiddish.
I do speak a little bit. Well, I don't remember any of it now, but I did speak it. Anyways, and I was laughing at him, and then I went into the bathroom because my clothes felt tight on me. So I was taking off all my
Oh,
clothes.
right.
And so Dad goes into the bathroom, and he's trying to put my clothes
Well-
back on. And my mother's knocking at the door
Oh, my
saying,
God.
"What is going
Your
on?"
parents left. We had all
But
our
they
friends
came
over.
back.
Your parents
By the way,
left.
let me just say for the record, we're not endorsing the use of any
Yes,
drugs.
yes.
Be responsible. Don't do it at all.
Yes,
These are
you're
just the
absolutely
stories
right.
and mistakes that we
Right.
made.
Be ready or
Yes.
don't do it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not an endorsement. Don't read it that
Absolutely
way.
not. Absolutely
Well, I
not.
remember like your parents left, and then we thought, oh, it's safe, it's cool to do it.
And then they
so
came
in the
back.
meantime, like I'm on a full tab of window pane. Mom's freaking out.
Window
She's in the
pane.
bathroom undressing. Her parents come home. Now I have to completely be straight, and they go, "Where's John?" It's like, oh, she's in the bathroom. She's having some problems, and try to maintain that I'm perfectly straight all the while I'm just
Oh,
peeking
my
my brains out.
God.
Right.
Or one time we went to Burger King, and I remember the walls on the floor. The walls seemed to be melting, and the floor was like, up and down and up
Burger King.
and down. It was like
Burger King on acid. That's
It
like
was
the
like an
setting of Fear and
earthquake.
Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh my God!
Exactly.
It was. I swear.
How frequently do you guys take that stuff back
I've
then?
only taken it twice.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
Dad, how many times have you taken it?
Is my mom listening to this?
No,
No.
maybe. Wait,
Doubt
what
it.
we did in Hawaii?
Maybe
3 times, maybe for me. Maybe
25
I can't
times,
remember. Oh my
maybe?
God!
Wow.
25?
Yeah.
I thought you told me like 50.
I don't know. Let me think. Well, there
He's
was
on
the
a
one
live
time.
show
Yeah,
now.
no.
One time in Burger King, one time at Mom's house.
Well, and we were into, ketamine, which was just
I
a
didn't
completely
know. That's bad. Bad.
experimental
bad.
psychedelic. It was actually
The
first
K-hole.
a psychotropic drug that they gave to extremely schizophrenic, which are now they call them
They give it to people with depression.
bipolar people. So it was a drug that was developed for people with severe psychosis. And no one really knew what it was. And one of my good friends was working at UCLA Medical Center and brought home a little injectable prescription vial of it, which is like
I don't think you're supposed to do that, by the way.
you are not.
No.
So pop the top open. I did half. He
Oh,
did
what
half,
the hell?
Versus like
Idiot.
you
That's
know,
why
There's no
you-
50
internet.
milligrams.
That-
no
that-
internet.
Not
right,
to
you
be like,
don't-
what's
what do
the
you know?
dosage on this?
Yeah, that's why if your father had grown up with
That is
Leonard
dumb, by the
Katzmean,
way.
Oh,
he
it
would
is
have been
way
dead.
dumb.
That's
Way dumb.
why.
That is really just.
Yeah,
Dad, that is
Crazy.
very reckless.
very
So-
reckless.
well,
Your father
you know,
was very
that was the
reckless.
60s. It was, what is it? I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, just we'll
So,
try
how
it.
was that experience?
It was really interesting. We were at my friend Joel Case. Shout out to Joel in Mexico there. if you're
Mad Hatter.
Listening. This is someone I
Mom
had
doesn't
known.
like Joel.
This is someone I had known at Hebrew school. He and I went to Hebrew
Mom is
school
openly
together.
hostile to your friend Joel.
What if
She
he's
is still.
listening?
Joel and Howard.
Oh, my.
Joel was the greatest bullshitter of all time. This guy could go from being totally out of it, quaaluded out, to being able to talk right as rain. He was driving once. When Mom and I were separated for a while, Joel was living in a place right on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. So if you know Malibu at all, it was about a quarter of a mile from Moon Shadows, and that's right on the beach. And this apartment,
I was
the
there.
ocean broke right under the apartment. You're on stilts looking over the Pacific. Just amazingly beautiful place.
I cut your hair on the patio.
And so, Quaaludes were popular then. Shout out to Quaaludes.
Not an endorsement. Not that you can
endorsed.
get them anyway.
You can't get them
Those don't
anyway,
exist
but
anymore.
it was an interesting drug. And Joel had done, he would do drugs to the point where you'd have to almost slap him to wake him up. And he's driving down Pacific Coast Highway when he's weaving all over the
Oh,
road.
Isn't that
and he's
crazy?
just completely out of it. It's like, let me drive. No, I'm fine. And Malibu sheriffs who have authority in that whole area there come up behind us, turn on the lights, pull us over, get out of their car, walk up to us. So in the meantime, Joel gets out of the car, walks up to the left front tire and starts kicking it. And the sheriffs come over, and Joel knew a lot. He goes, "Hey, Joel, what's happening?" He goes, "This goddamn alignment. I just had this fixed." And he had gone from almost being comatose to now being able to bullshit these
amazing.
Malibu sheriffs by telling them, "Oh, my handling is all, my car's all messed up." They go, "All right." And it's just like, be careful, drive safely, go back home.
That's pretty amazing. That reminds me of Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. It's this character in the show. He always drives drunk, and they always talk his way in from the police in the most ridiculous way. What does that guy do today? Did he put those skills to work?
He's,
You're
in,
like,
he's in Mexico. He's
could
probably a wanted
charm his
man.
way. He was incredible with women. When I was living there, he was actually dating the ex-wife of Elton John's manager.
I was like, okay, Elton John doesn't have
Yeah,
kids. You know that, right?
yeah,
or
right.
maybe adopted kids, but I don't think
well,
I don't
his
think
managers, to show you how much
they don't
money
have
he
the
was making,
technology yet.
his manager's ex-wife in alimony was getting something like $10,000 a month in alimony, which she was, putting all up her nose, of course, which is what people did back
The
then.
best of times, man.
Yeah, best of times, worst of times. But it was, amazing living there because you never knew. It was life on the edge.
Sounds like a great time.
It was. They're good memories.
There were bad memories too.
Like being called up at 1 in the morning because he was at, what was the restaurant that was on Malibu Pier? Alice's Restaurant?
Yeah, stop.
Called me up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sleeping. He goes, Gary, there's 3 guys here that want to kick my ass. You need to come here. So you rouse out of a dead sleep, grab a baseball bat, get in your car, drive down there. And now, of course, you're in
Those are
fight or
greasers.
flee. Your adrenaline is just freaking out. So I get in there, get my baseball bat, walk up. It's like the guys had just left, thank God. But it was always,
There probably was no one there.
no, he had
enemies.
Yeah, no, he was a big mouth. He could be charming.
Man,
but he
it
could
sounds
be-
like you're lucky to make it out of there alive.
Well, it's amazing that all of the friends I grew up with were all still alive, much to our surprise. Well, except for
You were a real
Bob Hamilton.
Yeah.
cruiser,
Yeah,
gangster out
Dad-
there.
Yep,
Dad wasn't a gangster, but he had some friends that were kind of gangster.
represent the Valley.
Yeah.
I heard a
60s
story.
Valley.
I remember you telling me a story about how you were like tripping super hard in your bedroom.
Oh yeah, that was the night of that one night that I was in the bathroom.
Same night.
It was the same night.
And Dad left you there?
Well, he had to. It was time to go home, and the only way I could keep myself sane was I just cleaned my bedroom.
Oh, God.
Habits Mom
sounds
developed.
bad.
She still utilizes to this day. She's going to clean this as soon as we're done, I'm sure.
You know what would be a great? I want to show my mom that video I showed you. That'd be a great way to end it off.
By the way, did you guys like when I sent you the Percocet song?
Percocet.
Oh yeah,
Molly
yeah.
Percocet.
'cause
My
I
mom was on Percocets
yeah.
after a recent
right.
surgery.
My last.
We're like, how are you feeling? And she sent like this
She was like, I'm on Percocet.
happy
I'm
face
feeling pretty
emoji,
good.
chill face emoji. You should open that video. I want to show
Which
it.
one?
The one about the magic table that cleans itself.
Ooh, that sounds like right up my alley.
You're gonna love this sketch.
I don't know how
I
to
saw it
find
and I
it,
immediately
though.
sent it to Ela. There it is.
Oh, I
That's it.
found it. Okay. Wait, you need
Wow,
to put
that
it
was
on.
fast.
Oh. Is
Just
my
type-
laptop blocking right now?
No, it's fine.
Magic. All right.
Don't-
How you guys doing? We're gonna wrap it up soon. I want to show you guys this.
No, we're doing great.
All right. Watch this sketch, Mom. It's on the TV.
Okay.
What?
Magic coffee
Just wish
table.
you'd take some initiative and cook your own dinner for once. I've been at work too, and now I get to come home and pack the dishwasher and then unpack the dishwasher and cook dinner and put washing on. And you know what? I can't continue to live like this because it's not me.
Relax. It's gonna be alright.
How?
Here, I'll just show you. Okay, I've been doing this since we moved in. See this basket thing? I don't know how it happens, if it's the house or what, but any dirty clothes you put in this basket, somehow the next day they're just clean, folded, and in a perfect pile on your bed.
You're not serious.
I couldn't believe it first thing, but it just keeps happening. That's why I didn't tell you. I didn't want to jinx it.
You are insane.
Try it, you'll see. Unless it's only chosen me. See, I don't know.
I can't do this.
No, wait. There's other things too. Plates, cutlery, pizza boxes, dirty tissues, anything you leave on this coffee table just vanishes overnight. I mean, sometimes I'll see how far I can push this thing and I'll just leave
Oh
shit
God.
everywhere. Sure enough, the next day, it's all gone. It's just vanished. It's magic. No, she wouldn't have left me. This is what I think happened. I heard her get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something. She must have fallen onto the magic coffee table and just vanished.
Pretty great.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
You got the ending.
Oh, did I?
Are you insane?
No, he's not insane. I've got the same coffee.
It's called a wife.
Great.
Check it out. Magic coffee table.
that's
This guy
so
actually has a
funny.
YouTube channel.
That is
He makes some
good.
good stuff.
What's the channel name? Let's
I don't know
give
if
them
this is
shout
a
out.
cancer re-upload. Yeah, this is some cancer re-upload. Trend
Really?
Blend. Fuck
You
you
sure?
guys. Trend Blend didn't make this video. I guarantee it.
They got 1.5 million views.
Well,
Tuh.
it's not Trend Blend. God damn it! I refuse to believe the trend. Anyway, let me try to find this guy. Magic coffee table.
That's
Short
something
elf.
every husband says.
Yeah.
There's a magic
Here.
elf.
That's
that
funny.
lives
That
in the
happens in
house.
our house too.
Yeah, it's
In our house
amazing.
too.
Except I do the vacuuming, so the
Yeah.
floors don't magically make themselves
What
clean.
do you do?
YouTube is
Ethan?
so fucked. how they
Ethan
like.
needs one
Oh,
thing
here.
that
I
he
think
will
this
do.
is it. Wait, I want to give this guy his due credit. I think this is him, Troy Kinney. Think. This is it.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Let's see if this is him, just for reference.
His collected.
Show me the face. That's him. Yeah, go to
Yeah.
Troy Kinney. It was a great sketch.
No, that was
So
excellent.
yeah, no, I saw that immediately. I was like, too real. It's too real. Well, here's the problem with me. Like I'll do the dishes and I'll do my laundry.
When there's no dishes left
yeah, right.
and no underwear left.
Right. My measure of when it's time to clean up is on a different scale than Eli's. So
I'm not
When
going to
things are
wait, so I
desperate.
end up doing it.
It's a gender thing.
I mean,
No, it's a Gary thing. They got it from you.
Really?
there are some
Yes.
clean men out there, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I mean, I'm clean.
Isaac is actually really clean.
Are there
So
any clean straight men?
Yeah,
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Just asking.
Yes. It does seem to skew more to the female side.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get shut down and raided by the social justice police. Anyway, it's time to do laundry when I'm out of underwear. It's time to do the dishes when there's no dishes, right? That makes sense.
Well, I am the one that usually puts the dishwasher on, though. I don't think Mom has put
Okay,
it on
yeah.
more than twice since
Ethan,
we've been
what's
living
your,
in
yeah,
Vegas.
and he vacuums. What do you
And
do?
I vacuum.
He vacuums. He vacuums, Ela, when I say, "Are you gonna vacuum or what?"
What do I do?
Well, lots
What
of
do I do?
Around the house, girl.
Girl.
What do you do around the house?
I definitely pick up my clothes pretty often and put them in the basket.
Pretty often.
Usually I like,
cook.
yeah, I cook.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, give him away.
Ethan
I
cooks.
Shout
cook.
out.
Okay,
All right,
see,
Ela.
it was a true question. I knew.
I
Wait,
saved
no,
your ass.
I was genuinely wondering.
Saved your ass there.
Thank you. Yeah, you got the scorecard over there? Give me a mark for...
Ethan
Sheesh.
does cook.
Can't get a
He's
break.
a really good cook.
All right.
That comes from my side of the family.
Speaking of cooking, I'm hungry. Let's
Kung Pao.
let's do let's just take, should we do like a Q&A or just wrap it up?
Q&A. I like Q&A.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's take a short break.
Yeah,
And
Q&A.
then we'll come back for some Q&A. I'm going to go pee.
Where did Ethan's parents meet?
Guys, and remember, if you leave, man, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just have a really bad feeling about it. If you leave, I just have a really, really bad feeling about what's going to happen. So don't leave. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Hope you all had a lot of fun. Some laughs, some gaffes, a couple goofs. Oh, we have this present. Maybe I'll open your present. That'd be a good way to end.
Oh.
Open, please do.
Yeah.
So it's my birthday coming up in June. End of June. My mom's she just came in with some presents.
This be June.
I have something for you guys, too, but I think I'll do it off the stream.
All right, so I guess
I'll tell you guys when we wrap it up.
People might try to steal it.
You can't steal
Feel
it,
it.
Oh.
but you guys probably will appreciate it.
Sounds like one of Gollum's riddles.
You can't steal it.
You can't steal it.
You can
but
feel
you can
it.
put it in your pockets.
By the
my
way,
precious.
Sean Bellog was saying hi to you guys.
Oh.
Way up.
What's up, B? Where is he?
Yeah.
He's listening.
Hey, Sean.
Do I need to do like we're back or whatever? I'll still do it now. Okay, we're back. So my birthday's coming up at the end of June, really soon. Shit. And my mom brought me some presents. She
Well,
wanted me
it's
to
from
open.
Dad, too, but-
Yeah, okay. Both my parents brought me some presents. They want me to
Respect.
open them. So let's see what we got here.
I also have a question for everyone. I bought this red hat. Can I wear it, or did Trump ruin
Did Trump ruin red hats?
Oh.
No, it doesn't have the horrible
Yeah.
"Make America Great Again" or any of that
Yeah.
horrible lying bullshit.
When did he
so
have? When did
God,
he
tone
wear,
it down. When does this become a political show?
Sorry.
It's not
I
a
promised
political
I
show.
wouldn't,
When did he wear a red hat?
Let's see
his
what-
Oh my
horrible
God.
"Make America Great Again" or mostly red.
Do you not
No,
wanna
it's
make
just
America
safely
great again?
Generic. I do. That would mean not having Trump as president. See, you started it.
People are saying it's pink. It looks pink for some reason on camera, but it's actually
bright, bright
it's
red.
like really
It
red.
has,
Well,
it,
Ela-
has it has a pink hue to it. It's
I
kind
guess.
because you can have red that has a little bit of orange.
I've always known that Ela was a white supremacist, so let's just put a swastika on there.
All right, so I can wear it.
Yeah, you can wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, back to the presents.
Okay, so what is this, a board game?
It is.
And this was before your last
is?
video.
It is.
No way!
that
Whose idea was
perfect?
this?
Old one.
no
It's an old
way.
My
one,
mom
an
brought me a Ouija
original.
board.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? That is actually a brilliant gift. We have to
Wow.
do this now.
That's
That's
a
an
vintage
amazing
Ouija
Wait,
board.
wait, wait.
Parker Brothers.
This has extra
is-
spirits in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
That is
that's
honestly
the real deal.
legitimately such a great gift. We're gonna have to bring that.
That's amazing gift.
We'll have to go
Great
somewhere
job.
haunted and do it. I'm gonna
That-
actually legitimately do
And
this.
that's
That
the
is
real
such a
deal.
great
It's-
job.
It's the wood one.
This is old wood. It's no Lance Stewart fucking
Cardboard.
ghetto ass cardboard and
Cardboard.
Sharpie.
It's like risk
And I
game with
bought
the
that
old
before
wooden
you guys did
wooden
that.
people.
Did that.
No.
I
What?
bought it before.
This is a classic.
That's a
No,
ghost
no.
story.
No. You're misunderstanding. You've owned this for decades.
No,
Okay.
no.
No.
I bought it before
eBay.
you did your last
For
part.
me, for my birthday.
For your birthday.
No, you had started talking about ghost stories.
Yeah,
Well, why is it
okay.
not used?
It's an old.
Because it's a
Vintage.
vintage
Oh,
one.
wait.
It's a vintage
I actually
Ouija.
thought you just had this laying around.
No.
No, I bought it on eBay.
Wait, are you serious?
Big
Yeah,
bucks.
it's
So before we
vintage.
did the Lance
Yeah,
Stewart,
that's
you
Before
bought
crazy.
we
this?
did it, I said to Dad, you know what? That would be
They're
really
talking
good.
about
'cause they're
ghost
talking-
stories. How about
Wow, that
And
is
the-
cosmic.
And the other gift you should open up too because it has something to do with.
Actually,
This
first of
is
all,
amazing.
that is amazing. I can't wait to use this because it seems like such a crock of crap. I can't wait to test it out. It has to be. Regardless, I want to see what it looks like.
Just don't try it with your eyes closed because for some reason the spirits seem to feel it less when your eyes are closed.
What?
Is Lance Stewart full of shit? Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes. Can
No,
you believe it?
hey.
This is it. This is the whole ghost
This is
reading.
so cool.
Yep.
Cool. Nice.
And everyone who was a teenager and did a Ouija
Oh,
board
yeah,
has
we all
horror
did.
stories.
Oh, yeah.
Pop the other one out.
Did you really? Is it actually spooky to do?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you turn the lights
You've
off
done
and
it?
you do. Yeah, you do. You have it overnight with your girlfriend.
But it's supposed to be like 5 people, not 2.
Yeah, you just everybody puts their hands on the board and you.
So did it actually move?
Yeah.
Not an endorsement, but if you do acid and then do the Ouija board,
Not
it's
an
super
endorsement.
effective.
Not
No endorsement.
All right, what else?
What else we
Open
got?
up the square one.
Is this like more Lance Stewart themed gifts?
I
please?
love this package.
It's cool, isn't it? Parker
Just like-
Brothers.
It's not spooky.
Original.
It
No,
is though.
It's just so
It
classy.
seems very
It is.
innocuous
It's
like
it's
that.
an old one. We gotta.
I mean, if you're trying to sell like spooky ghost shit, like they really took an understated approach to that. Oh, an 8-ball? That's classic.
Magic 8-ball.
Well,
Not
Magic
any
8-ball.
8-ball.
Thank
The
you,
Magic
Mom.
8-ball.
I thank you, Mom and Dad, for the ghost hunting pack for my birthday. We've got a Magic 8-ball. We've got a Ouija. This is it. Now we just need Post Malone.
Let me see what is that.
Who are you going to call?
Ask a question.
Oh.
Are Ouija boards fake? It says, without a doubt. Who do I trust, though? Do I trust the 8-ball or the Ouija board?
What's with the 8-ball ratting out the
I
Ouija
know.
board?
What the
I thought they're on the same
You
team.
would think so.
Is Lance Stewart the little doughboy? Outlook is good. What else we got here?
I think that's it.
No, there's one more.
they're suckers. I love that.
Oh yeah, I brought you guys a bunch of suckers.
that-
Tootsie
yeah.
Pops.
this, a puke bag? And a Sharpie?
Barf bag.
Oh! I forgot to put. I bought that.
Did
to
you
put
just-
it for
Did you just buy me
It's a bonus. It's a bonus gift.
My mom just bought me an unopened pack of tissue paper. How thoughtful.
I was in a hurry. I forgot to open it up and put it in the
We
fridge.
spare
really
no
nice.
expense.
That was really nice. Thank you. I'll use this on the next present I get.
Oh God, I
And there's
can't
a
believe
Sharpie
I
in here,
did that.
Okay, what is this? Do I open the card?
Yeah,
or this?
open up the card. I
Okay.
really like the card.
Is it just weird? Whenever I open a card, I expect there to be. I'm always disappointed when there's
Check.
not money.
Gotta be a check in there.
Even
Well,
at
then you're
this
gonna be
age,
disappointed.
But like, there's just something so wonderful about getting a card with the check in it, right?
Absolutely.
Cash.
Did you put a check in there?
No,
Even if it
Ella
was-
got money.
I
back.
suggested Mom put a check in there.
It could be empty. It could say one
Read it
pen.
out loud because I really
He
love
took
it.
the road less traveled, but he brought a helmet and a shiny shopping cart, and that made all the difference. No one travels through life quite like you. By Adine Hedger. Dear Ethan, you want me to read this? Is it
can-
okay?
you
Dear
yeah.
Ethan, you've always marched to the beat of your own drum, and now over 4 million march along beside you. That's nice. That's a really nice analogy. That's a nice poetic thought.
We both actually
we both
worked
wrote
that
it.
out.
You
So-
guys
Nice.
banged that out? That was nice. Thank
yeah,
you.
no, yeah. You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
We're very
4
proud
million.
of both of you guys.
That's
It's not,
amazing.
it's not spook related, which is a little disappointing.
Oh, sorry.
But I did enjoy it. Thank you guys. That's nice. And then we've got this.
Mom put so
Yeah,
much work
You guys
into
do our
that.
taxes or what? What is it? H3 podcast.
With-
Oh, what?
That
Wait,
that's
what's
that's
this?
that's the disc for your logo.
That's called a DVD.
yeah, it's a DVD.
Okay. All
I
right.
tried to put it. I have a machine that plays tapes, but it wouldn't take that for some
Interesting.
reason.
I don't even think people use DVDs anymore. That's like ancient technology already.
So my Betamax, it won't work on there.
Betamax.
Yeah, you don't even know what that is.
Okay, so we've got
This
a
is
logo.
the best gift.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow, look at the resolution on that.
What?
Yeah, no, Mom did it.
What?
She put a lot of work
I've
into
been,
that.
I've been
Did you
working
paint
it.
that? That's hilarious. I love it. So we got the H3 logo. Let's go through a journey together here.
Okay.
So we got the H3
Don't
logo.
stop
We've got
believing.
Justin Roy, the thumbnail,
Don't
pixelated.
sing, Jerry.
It's
can
stretched.
And then here we've got pictures from the pictures of Justin. It's pictures of Justin.
I was getting it off of the. I went to.
Wait, it's hot as fuck in here.
'Cause I
Can we all
turned-
acknowledge
Is it?
that for
Yeah.
a minute?
Is
It's getting a little
The
warm.
AC's got to come on.
It's
All
so
right, all right.
it's
Just soldier
crazy
it.
because if it's on, it comes on this spot.
Okay.
Right
So-
where you're sitting.
Yeah.
Eel has the death spot.
Oh, you have the death spot.
Or
Is it the worst?
whoever sits here and gets it the worst.
Okay.
So I turned it off, but
So anyway, Justin got a lot of street cred here. That was cool. Let's keep going.
See, on the next
More
page,
H3?
the reason why I put H3, I printed out a bunch of those because I thought maybe your guests could write something to you. But I don't.
Ow.
And that's a wrap.
Retro, like now, like
Yeah,
have
like
some-
when you have your guests
memory
come.
book?
Yeah, like that was your second guest.
When you printed these, did you think that was what
Well,
it was
I,
supposed to look like?
I wanted it to fill the page, so I.
Office
they kinda-
Depot. That's what you get.
What'd you think about that?
It's because the thumbnail's just so small.
His face looks a little thin.
Oh, this is fucking awesome. This is awesome. I love it. Can you tell on the stream?
That guy
Oh,
looks-
it looks normal on this stream.
Oh, good.
That guy looks like PewDiePie.
It's super
that Felix
pixelated.
guy.
And then there's just pictures of Felix.
I think there's pictures. Is there a picture with you in there?
Yeah, there's this one here, and here's Felix, sad, suicide, and happy.
Good job. All the emotions.
So
Well,
this is just like a memory
It's,
book.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is, and it's going to go on. I'm going to keep going, ongoing.
cool.
It's very nice.
I have to get
Really
leafy.
Oh, here's the items picture. It's me choking out Ian. That's special. Glad that memory's been
Post Malone
immortalized.
is two-sided. I've got so many pictures of him.
Who's this? Oh, that's Keemstar. I don't know who that is. This is wonderful. Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. I'm
Oh,
going to
nice.
keep it going. So send me those pictures.
So this is
Leela.
yours?
all right.
No,
Do you
it's
wanna-
yours.
But do you want to keep building on this?
I want to keep I'll keep building it.
You're going to
and
do a
fill-
new notebook.
No. I'm just going to fill it up. That
So
one.
what I mean is I'm giving this back to you.
No. You keep
So
it
how do you keep filling it?
because I have the inserts and I have. I
She'll
have.
just make this things.
I'll
Okay.
I'll just have the pictures
Alright.
made up and.
So we should just leave it here in
Yeah.
You know, it'd be
the podcast
fucking epic
office.
if we actually printed these and sold them, like my mom's scrapbook with all the pixelated thumbnails and shit, and like a description. We're gonna have to weaponize
The shipping on this
a
thing
good
would be
idea.
like $200.
Not like the whole thing, but like to a buck. Oh
It's a great idea.
I
What's,
just-
what's
I
our
just-
cut?
yeah, you guys are cut in for sure. Well, I'm gonna have a sucker.
Yeah, there should. I think I put 10 of them in there.
Oh wow. Woo.
We had to
Right.
order these.
Tootsie Pops,
They're- you
not just
can't get
cheapy,
these because
generic.
Really?
they're
Real
retro.
Tootsie
I
Pops.
had
This is
to order
retro?
them.
All right. Well, do you want to take some questions? Or
So
do
do you
wanna
guys
say-
have like a couple questions you want?
I'm just gonna be sucking on this. It's gonna get noisy.
My girlfriend's favorite is the green
Let's,
one.
There was a lot of people
There's a chocolate one in there too.
asking
Oh,
about
okay.
our origin story. Should I take a couple minutes and say how
Where do you
Mom and
begin?
I met?
Yeah, let's go.
Try to do it quick so that
Seemed
we
like
can
just
do.
yesterday.
I'll do it because
Talk
I
fast.
can do it.
No,
I can
you're
do
not
Reader's
quick.
Digest. That gets involved.
I my sister, Michelle,
tell it.
if you're listening.
I want to
And then you
compare
correct-
stories.
Okay.
Tell it as quickly as possible and
Okay.
as little words as possible.
Good luck with
Okay.
that.
I was in a play, a neighborhood play, and I had
Temple
the part.
Ramazione, shout out.
I had the part of Anita,
West Side Story. Was
and
the
Dad
play.
was out in the audience and saw me.
She's a horrible
Dad, let her-
storyteller.
What is happening?
And then
She's a horrible storyteller.
And then after the play was over, we had a cast party. Dad had just broken up with his girlfriend, and so his sister invited him to come to the cast party because the guy that played Jerry Shapiro, who played the part of Tony, he had an
His
older sister.
Cheryl Shapiro, I knew from college.
Yeah,
I
so
knew
Dad
from-
was going
Very cute girl.
going to
I went to
go
the cast party.
All right,
thinking,
all right, all right.
Oh,
Let me
maybe
tell
the
the-
sister, baby Cheryl will be there.
Yeah. So Dad came, and he met me instead.
Great
Wow,
story.
You are such a horrible
No, but that was
storyteller.
like a really wonderful Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
You were in a play. You guys met. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. Here I am.
And then
It's such a better story than that.
go ahead, go ahead.
So I went to the party hoping to meet Cheryl Shapiro. I had seen Mom. Her hair was real long. She played Anita, the second female lead. She was the only one with any talent. Went there with my girlfriend. My parents like, wow, this girl's beautiful. She's so talented. Went to the cast party. What was it 2-3 weeks later?
Yeah.
Mom walks in. She had cut her hair, so I didn't really associate her with the same one. But, you know, there's a 5-year difference. When we started dating, I was 21. Mom was 16, which was pretty shocking back then.
Yeah.
But she walked in.
Wait. Go back. You were 21. She was 16.
Right.
Yeah.
I was at
Eek.
UCLA. Mom was still in
I
high
know.
school.
It's a little rough.
Jailbait.
Literally jailbait.
Do you know how hard it was to wait 2 years to?
Oh,
but
yeah.
Oh
anyway.
God, this is not appropriate.
Next question.
So Mom walks in, beautiful. She was like the queen bee, and all these high school boys were buzzing around her when she came in. So we made eye contact, and I looked over and I gave her the, you know, come over here, honey, which no man had ever had the audacity or no
So
boy
cringy.
to do that. So she came over, we started talking. We kind of hit it off. I ended up driving her home, but then we had kind of mixed signals.
Dad gave
so
me
nothing
his
came of it.
jacket because I was cold, which
Oh.
and
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 he said, "Keep this."
and yeah, he said keep
That's
it.
kind of
And-
Oh,
desperate.
Well, in other words, call me, you know, and I'll come
I'll
by
get it
and
back.
pick
but
it
That
up.
was
I-
George Costanza move.
It was a plot.
Yeah, and I said no, you keep it, you'll be cold, because I was literally thinking he would be cold.
And I thought that was
Also,
you
who
blowing
gives
me off.
someone's jacket?
I
for
know
your
that's
first
what
night?
I was thinking.
That's too aggressive.
So, Dad never
apparently it
called me
worked.
back.
Thank
he never
you.
called.
It
He
shouldn't
never.
have worked. It shouldn't have worked.
Anyway, so like 2 months later, I'm walking around the.
No, you were riding your bicycle,
riding
which is
my brother
prolific.
Greg's bike up actually Donna Avenue in the Jewish ghetto of Northridge.
Yeah.
And I see Mom
The
and her
Jewish
girlfriend.
ghetto.
They're walking down the street, smoking a joint. And I drive by.
I
and
was smoking
and
the
I
joint.
said, "Aren't you you're that girl I met at the?" And anyway, and I said, "Oh, gee, you want to go out?" And we went out that night or the next night.
Yep, and the rest is history.
And I came home after that first date, and I said to my mother, "I've met the woman, the girl I'm going to marry."
Yep.
And lo and behold, here we are. These many years later.
Really cringy.
I don't think so.
It shouldn't have worked.
I can get into it. Shouldn't.
You
have.
know
First
what?
of all, 21, 16, shame
Yeah.
on you guys. Not you, Mom. Mostly shame on you.
It was a tough 2 years. Waiting
Young
till she
girls
was
don't know what
18.
they're doing.
You know what? I told Dad if he had done this to me when I was older, I would have told him to.
Exactly.
But I was young and stupid.
God, that's.
But the first time we did it, no, I'm not.
Oh, God.
Oh,
What
what?
the hell?
I'm not going there.
Please don't.
I would not.
Okay, I have a question.
You guys are that relationship that, like, from afar, you're like, this shit is fucked up. Like, 21, 16, doing this whole thing.
Yeah. And now, 42 years of marriage later, it seems to have worked out.
Shouldn't have
okay.
worked.
What is your favorite meme from our videos?
Oh wow. Your favorite meme?
What sticks out?
Or
What's
like
memorable?
a person that we
Yeah.
talk about? Like, who is your favorite?
Well, you
Me as
make
Colonel
a lot
Sanders.
of you make a lot of fun of salad.
The Salad Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a lot of fun.
But
or
he's a good
Joey.
sport.
Yeah, Joey.
Joey Saladino.
Yeah.
Salad Man,
I mean, you've made a lot of fun of him. It's
Well,
kinda,
he was
it's
here.
funny.
He
Yeah.
was-
Deserved to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
made
yeah.
fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's that.
What else? Here, let's see if there's anything else.
Well, I think the whole humongous thing too.
Yeah, that was
how
good.
You just turned his life around, and
Dude,
the
humongous is the man.
trouble he was in. What your fans did for that guy is
Amazing.
just
Yeah.
mind blowing, and the fact that you're able to make people's lives better is such a mitzvah for where we're at here and what you've accomplished. So that's my favorite. I think taking humongous and just helping him out. Have you
That's
spoken to
nice.
him
Yeah,
lately?
yeah.
Is
No,
he
we
doing?
I mean, he got like, we raised like $170,000.
Wow.
I think after the cut, he got 150 because they take a percentage.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's not doing anything crazy. He's living the same life. He's still gardening and shit.
Right.
He's like a real salt of the
Wasn't
earth
his
guy.
He just
child
seemed like
sick?
the nicest guy.
Yeah.
That's why you did it, right?
But
'Cause
now
he had
he's
a
running
child
for
sick.
city council
Right,
in
right.
Seattle.
Wow.
So I don't know if the elections come up yet, but wouldn't that be the best meme ever? Like
Absolutely.
the evolution of a meme. My goodness. Talk about
Wow.
a living meme.
Yeah.
Right. From being attacked by a social justice warrior to
Yeah,
city
she was
council
crazy.
in Seattle.
It was such a wonderful, it was really a cool feeling of like making this video, defending this guy,
Right.
some random guy in the world, and then actually having him on the show and talking to him and being able to make that connection was really a wonderful thing. I really loved that.
Yeah, to be in the position where you can actually help mankind, help people with whatever problems
some
they
random
have. It's,
dude.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Humungy.
And thanks to
Yeah.
the social justice warrior bitch, or we would never even know who he is.
Here we go.
Shout out to the biatch. Sorry.
The
All right,
B
we
word.
got. I think my dad's getting drunk. We got to
Yeah,
wrap this
yeah,
up.
right.
Oh,
We're hungry.
yeah, we're drunk. We're
Yeah.
hungry. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a real blast. It was a hoot. Thank you to my parents for
Yeah,
stopping
thank
by and
you.
spending time. It was
Our
really fun.
absolute pleasure.
Cool.
We love doing it. Love your fans. Love
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah, everyone's awesome.
And you
And-
guys can come up to us anytime and say hello because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
The fans you're
Say what
speaking
up.
Yes, yes.
And thank you for this book. We'll keep it here in our
Oh.
office.
We should
for-
start publishing that. It's gonna be great. Like every year we'll publish a new one.
You should have your guests sign it and write
We
something.
will now that it's
Yeah.
here.
know?
Yeah, we should have that.
And do that.
If you guys want to support the show, but you don't have the funds to support our sponsors, the best way is to connect your Twitch account to your Amazon account. Because if you have Amazon Prime, like every American does pretty much, I think like 60 to 70% of all Americans have Amazon Prime. Isn't that mad?
Well, I was just
Wow.
reading that Jeff Bezos is closing in on Bill Gates as the richest
Wow.
man in America.
Wow.
But he's done good things like buying the Washington Post and keeping it
Yeah.
up and
No,
going.
he's
So
the guy
shout
knows
out
what
to
he's
Jeff
doing.
Bezos.
So
Send
if-
us money.
Yes, send us money, please. I mean, we're just begging you pretty much. If you guys have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free by linking it to your Twitch account. It's free money, guys.
Shut up.
Some people say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Amazon begs to differ.
Because Mom joins Amazon Prime every time she orders. She goes, "Oh, get the shipping
You have
free!"
like
and then I see the $50 bill
subscriptions.
when I get the credit card. I was like, "Did you join Amazon Prime again?" No, it just said check here and no freight is free.
The thing is,
we're still working on that.
if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free one time every month. So that's the best way to support the show. We really appreciate that, and we appreciate you guys just coming and watching. Love you.
And next Friday we got Steve-O.
Next Friday is going to be a really big show. I'm super excited to have Steve on.
We've set the bar pretty high for Steve-O. Let's see if he's
Yeah.
able to get over
Yeah,
it.
we'll see. We'll try. We have some really great shows scheduled in the future. And then we actually have a surprise unscheduled episode on Wednesday with Boogie2988 because
Oh.
he's in town for VidCon, so we never get
Oh, nice.
him in town. So he's free on Wednesday. So we're going to have one on Wednesday with Boogie and another one on Friday with Steve. So we're going to have 2 episodes next week that we're excited about. So
I hope he doesn't do anything like drink
No.
something poisonous or.
I'll bring some
No, he's a normal, nice.
Yeah, seems like a
Guy.
good guy.
great stories.
I
Yeah.
like the thing he put for the 4 million. He posted something very nice about you guys going past 4 million and that.
Wait,
Oh
you're
wait,
good?
you're talking about Boogie and you're talking about
Boogie,
Steve-O.
right.
I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about
now I'm confused. Yeah, Steve. I'll bring a 2-liter of bodily lung fluids for Steve. That'll be really exciting.
Here, Steve-O, drink this.
Yeah.
Glug, glug, glug.
Oh God!
All right.
So gross.
Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you on Wednesday, which is our Boogie one, and then we'll be here on Friday. We're here every Friday. God bless America.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Make
thanks for
America great
having us.
again.
Seacrest out.
All right, cut it!